I'm sorry,
Perfect,
Andy.
perfect timing.
I was distracted.
Okay, well
I'm gonna go bury.
I'm gonna start link bombing.
Hi, I'm gonna go bury my head in shame now.
Andy, get back here. No shame allowed.
She's also Andy, for those who are new.
Also, I
Ah,
shouldn't be using the shovel.
go bury me in my shame pit.
No.
I think somebody else has to introduce themselves now.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Armored Hunter, and I and yeah, shit be fucked, yo.
Indeed, it is. And hello, y'all. I am the Danny Boop. I do the strem. I am both in and out of character, very much worry.
Ah,
I'm the Failtrolls. I play Failsy, and Failsy is currently on a rampage.
I am I am Methosia, and Brimstone has just found out that he can shoot time.
Well,
I'm
you
not
technically
going to.
still don't know that.
Yeah, Dravinci was going to mention it, but got interrupted.
Yeah.
Brimstone can put two and two together.
Can he though?
We'll see.
I would hope.
I
It's
mean,
the same intelligence as Failsy. It's just more.
it looked like the
More-
result of necrotic damage. You don't know what the cause of the damage is, though.
Okay, fair.
Mechanically, it deals necrotic damage.
I can shoot skeletons.
And speaking of shooting skeletons, hello!
Not that one. He's
It's
useful.
me, Ash, the GM. You can call me Ash. You can call me Jim. I don't care. Well, I do immensely, but I actually don't.
I think a
Well,
good
yes,
general
but
rule
actually,
of thumb
no.
is quickly just
What?
referring to. I was just saying. I think a good general rule of thumb, at least for us players, is that we just say DM when we want to get your attention.
That's generally the good way to do it. Because then, literally, I'm the only one allowed to be called DM while we're playing D&D. If anyone else gets called DM, I murder.
Unless we're playing a one shot where you're a player.
That's fair.
Or
Anyways.
or cat.
That's still a player, even if I am a cat player. Anyways, so let's just get this going with Last Time on the Scattered Realm, Session 50. Our band of intrepid adventurers, Ket the Sublucidus Bard, Javinche the Human Dancer, Morrigan the Hexblade Warlock, Failsy the Sorcerer, Brimstone the Green Boy, and a brand new friend in the ever-venturous Bard, Chiffon. An explosion rang out through the city, much to the dismay of our already drawn-thin party. Through the aid of a quick teleportation spell cast by their new, somewhat ally Tim, and a mad dash forward, they found themselves once more in Keeper's Manor, now set ablaze, with sounds of a one-sided combat ringing out from within. Rushing in, they found Lee, nearly thrown through a wall by a single backhand, provided by a figure of great power, a woman with scales of matte and metallic hues who allowed them to give chase to a great monster, before leaving them to fight the beast. A long and tasking fight with a massive scaled monster ensued, where heads went flying just as quickly as they grew, until a final shot from an ancient-born pistol rang out, leaving the beast as little more than a desiccated corpse, and left them needing of a direction to go. So we are picking back up as you all are. As at this point, I believe we left off last session with you all reaching Tim's tower again.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah,
about
we
right.
were getting
Yeah,
inside. We left off.
Yeah.
We left off with essentially the door being opened and a very fat, not quite Maine Coon cat just greeting you with a.
Ah, yes, with the friendly cat greeting of diabetes.
So it's still just sort of standing in the entryway as you guys are sort of in a huff, having kind of rushed here. You all did manage to make it here in 2 hours instead of in the previous 3 hours.
Beep beep. Need to see Tim.
I
Yeah,
start
just
huffing it
due
up the
to-
steps.
It's like a
Before-
chorus of different cats meowing as you're just sort of walking in.
Before we fully enter, can Da Vinci look around to see if there's any watchers within sight?
Go ahead and make a perception check before you enter the building.
That is a 8.
And as far as you're aware, no one's particularly paying you guys any mind.
I would like to do so as well, just because Morgan would be on edge and trying to keep an eye out as well.
All right.
Perception?
Yes.
21.
21.
Them nerves is helping!
Yeah.
Yes, Morgan is acutely aware of everything going on right now.
Yeah.
You're sort of like glancing about in a bit of a panic. You don't see anyone specifically watching you, but as you guys are getting closer to Tim's tower, you do hear a bit of a commotion from the south.
Worry
A
about
bit
that in a moment.
southwest from your current position.
So, like, over in this direction.
Yeah, that kind of direction. It sounds fairly far off, but it's the same sort of like almost monotone screaming that would denote people being pushed over.
Oh, we don't have time for that.
What's wrong? Do you think it's... You think it's that asshole?
Either him or another monster southwest of us.
Well, no time like the present to get some new calf workouts in. Up the steps.
Yeah.
All right, then. You all head up to
Like, Tim.
You all head up the steps, leaving all of the meowing cats behind you, heading into the alchemy lab, then heading up through the alchemy lab into the library. You actually do not see Tim.
Can Da Vinci get a read on how Lionel's doing?
I mean, do you want to try to insight him to try to gauge his emotional state or physically how he's doing? Because for a man who literally has a gaping hole going through his chest, he seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, just more emotionally, like, is he on edge with us even being here?
I mean, without even rolling, you can tell he's on edge, though you're not certain of the cause. I mean, he has a lot of reasons to be on edge right now.
Yeah, there's been some pretty.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
very fair.
Are there any obvious more steps going up?
I mean, yeah, the tower goes up to 10 floors. Da Vinci himself has run up to the 5th floor before.
Yeah,
If we
just
can't find
continue
him
up
on
the
this level,
stairs.
just continue up.
Tim,
Alright.
go.
You go
Okay.
through the 4th floor, which has all those weird, like, anti-gravity defying, like, implements floating around in it. Then into the 5th floor, where you saw the inscribed rune on the floor previously.
Have to cast Thaumaturgy on herself just to make her voice louder.
Alright?
She's calling out. What her name?
At this point, you do finally hear a, "What? What? Who's there?
It's Kata!
Oh! Come back later, I'm in the shower!
Tim, this is important!
Is it more important than my cleanliness?"
Yes! The city could be in danger!
Ah. You hear the sounds of running water turn off upstairs.
While this is going on, Da Vinci is just going to inspect the circle.
Alright. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Arcana. Not 20.
Nice.
Alrighty then. Note down that you have the sigil for Tim's Fellhaven Tower. That you now know the sigil for the sake of transporting to it later.
Nice.
Hey, that gives us a getaway point.
Mm-hmm.
A minute or so later, you just hear a very rattly I don't know if that picked up on the microphone at all.
It did.
Yeah.
As you just see Tim currently with a towel wrapped around his waist walking down the steps from a floor higher up than you. Alright, what do you all need? Oh my god, you all look terrible.
Yeah,
The,
we've
They-
had a
they're gonna-
time.
we're gonna try to take the bones out, remove the device.
Who?
So
Hurry.
let's try to give a bit more context.
Yeah, y'all lost me a little bit. What's going on here?
There's a girl who is the inherited daughter of an Azamar, and she has been kidnapped by the actual daughter of the Azamar, who is the leader of the cult of Magisteria, who seeks to destroy this whole city. And well, we can assume that she seeks to destroy the whole city. And said inherited daughter has the ability to cancel out the effect of the device, which means if the daughter and the device were to meet, potentially bad things can happen.
And to complicate matters, the girl is this woman's actual granddaughter.
That
some-
is really confusing.
I know.
Basically, we need something to stop her, or at least
That new boss lady you were talking about earlier.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's going to destroy the city.
Oh, darn it. I
is
thought she was a city destroyer. She seemed like a city destroyer.
your
So-
regalia up to ready to use?
You want to use my
You've
regalia?
We've met more than one.
Well, I currently have one.
No, I think he was talking about the city destroyer thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I've definitely met people who were hell bent on destroying civilization before. I mean, heck, I fought in the war.
Okay, that's fair.
At this point, given what has been described as the creature she could send after my friends here, and she catch up points overtly, knocked him out with one hit, a backhand.
Okay.
Impressive.
I have a question though, and this is
I feel
not
like you
just
all probably have a lot of questions.
and this is not just for you, Tim, but for the rest of the group. Do we really want to try going in, rushing in on whatever machine, or running in guns a-blazing?
Yeah.
What other options do we have? Wait until the city goes absolutely batshit crazy and then attack her?
I feel it would probably be best if we take at least a little bit of time to prepare, just so we have clearer heads, but we need to waste as little time as possible.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you want my regalia, one, you're gonna have to convince me, and two, even if I do say yes, I'm not just gonna give it to you without telling you how to use it.
No, of course, but
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think this is a chance for you to pass down information onto a younger generation.
I already do that.
You no, somebody like you, you're passing on this kind of information to another one like you. I know I've not gone through the same experience as you, but I mean, it's not the best experience or the best teaching experience, at least for learning, hands-on.
No, typically that leads to lessons being completely misunderstood and ruinous side effects. The best form of teaching is to learn in a
I'm
class
ready.
and then to experience it hands-on. But from the way you're all talking, I'm guessing you don't have time for class learning.
Yeah, not
Not in this
particularly, no.
instance.
Alright, give me a
don't-
second to go put some pants on. He walks back upstairs.
I thought you just wore a robe.
I wear pants! The robe is to look fancy and to keep the cat hair off the rest of my clothes.
You
Yeah,
know,
makes
that's
sense.
fair.
Is there such a thing as sublucidus entitlement?
What?
It's more towards Keta.
I was just more so trying to convince him, okay?
So, let's pause for a moment here. What options do we have? It sounds like we either have attacking the castle head on, trying to play things more coy, or we try going for the tomb, try to, I don't know, do something in the tomb.
I say head her off at the tomb, maybe try to collapse any kind of entrance.
A woman that powerful would probably just be able to brute force her way past anything we do to try to stop her, but it would at least slow her down and give us time.
Give us time. I mean, I don't think there's any way we can play coy at this eventually.
If it helps you all alleviate any concerns, we did design that place specifically to stop people like her from being able to get in.
What do you how?
Like fail-safes in place, magical immunities, things like that.
Will that stop her from just brute forcing her way in?
It will stop her for a while. It depends on how much brute force she has, and even then, some materials don't exactly get damaged by brute force.
Well, and also we have to consider we don't know what the full capabilities of Sonata's abilities are. If she can cancel out the calm emotion effect on such a touch, then she might have other abilities that they can make use of.
So maybe head off the access to the item. I mean, still leave it intact, but if they can't touch it, then they can't use Sonata to break it. It seems Sonata had to touch us for the effect to dispel.
Yeah.
So
All
if
right,
we
I've got pants
block-
on now.
So if we block access from touching this component, I guess, or this item placed underneath, then it'd be harder even with magical failsafes to break it. I don't think attacking the castle head on would be smart.
How destructible is your device?
I mean, the device itself is fairly fragile. It's an incredibly fragile arcane construct that we had to weave directly into the bones of this creature.
Oh, goody. That makes sense. We can't just snag device and run away.
Well, no, if you take it off the thing, it's going to stop it from working. That's kind of the point. It's not... The field that it's producing is an accidental thing that we've never figured out how to stop. It's technically replacing what would be the madness effect leaking out of these bones with instead a calming effect.
How big are the bones?
He makes a hand gesture, sort of like making a circle with his finger, and you see just a hole open in the side of the tower. He does like the hand over the eyes, even though he's got no eyes, looking out towards the castle. Bigger than that.
Oh, so that
Bigger than the castle.
Yeah.
that knocks out a fear I had. I mean, if she can't touch the bones, I mean, my idea was temporarily shunting them into a different place.
Unfortunately, if you're thinking about something like a banishment, that wouldn't work on it.
No, not a banishment. More so, like, I know if something gets put in a bag of holding, then one can't simply access it. Like if they just stick their hand in a bag. So we take the device, we take the bones, and just shove it in a bag. But I believe a bag would just rip with that big
Yes,
lump
it would.
inside of it.
I mean, you maybe could put one. You could put like a finger bone in it, maybe, like one finger bone, like a single joint digit.
Then
Maybe a
that
tooth?
probably won't work. Um,
Bones are magical in nature, so I probably can't melt them.
we
I mean,
need
trust me, if we're an option to shunt this thing into a different realm or to just put it into bags before, we would have done
Probably
so.
would have been done. Yeah.
The issue is simply the fact that
I
it
mean-
needs to stay down there for it to not be able to do anything.
So we need to figure out how can we, not so much uh, stop whatever the bones are doing, but just how can we keep her away from the Arya and Sonata away from the device.
By distraction.
Hmm.
I mean, by all accounts, they shouldn't know where it is to begin with.
This is a cult leader. I think she'd be charming enough to get it out of somebody.
Possibly.
Well, no, only like 3 people know where it is.
Oh, who's those 3 people?
I mean,
Well, myself at this
besides
point,
you.
Lionel, because he was previously the groundskeeper of the entrance. And there was recently a new person assigned to it after Lionel was relieved from the position.
Who's that?
He sort of like pauses and thinks, "Oh, that could be a problem."
Is it Boris?
It's Boris,
you-
isn't it?
No, it's not Boris. They would never trust him with that kind of position. He's too much of an idiot.
Okay,
Good.
but
Is it Aria?
No, it's not that woman. It is actually who, to my understanding, is her daughter.
Cadence.
That one.
Of course. So of
Oh.
course she knows.
okay, so either we have the options of go to the tomb and try to figure out something from there, or go to the castle to try to get Sonata out of there. Either we sneak in, teleport in, attack with the giant machine. I don't know.
Do you know if there's any magical wards on the castle?
For like teleportation?
Any kind of magic?
I mean, no, not really. There was never a need for there to be wards. Besides, any wards that would be in place would eventually be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of magic that leaks into this place.
I wish I would have known fucking invisibility.
I can give you a scroll for invisibility. That wouldn't take me very long to make if you guys want to wait around for a little bit.
It'll give us time to plan at least.
Wait. You know somebody who's an expert at breaking people out.
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding her.
That is gonna go. I have one more 3rd level spell left. I could try to send Chiffon to Tesla for ready to try to break
good.
Sonata.
Yeah, it's always worth a
Sure.
shot.
I mean, even if Tutilla's in the town still, that would be a great help.
What's that ticking sound?
Oh, sorry. I was carving something.
Real quick, just this is a mechanics question, DM. Would us sitting here and talking and planning also count as a short rest?
You're not doing anything strenuous for an hour, so you can call it a short rest.
Okay, Warlock, I have to ask these things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also lets the frontliners heal up.
Yeah, that
So-
too.
So, do we want me to send to Chiffon to get ready for an escape plan for Sonata?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because trying to fight a creature of that power level, even in a regalia, I don't think is wise.
Again, still not convinced I should give that to you. Mr.
Keep
Cuddles,
that
would
in
you mind
mind.
copying the spell down? He just hands some paper and an inkwell to a cat.
Named Mr. Cuddles.
Yeah.
That'll
I
get
love
done. You wanted invisibility, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get that done for you. Or Mr. Cuddles will, but he'll get it done for you. He's good. He knows what he's
Only
doing.
for mass stealth, we still have my Chewingo.
House without a trace, right?
Yes.
Depends if we would want to sneak in with one person or try to go in the whole group if in the case of getting caught. Although the more people, the more likely we are to get caught.
I leave this
Failsy.
place should probably know where I am.
Did you have
You
So,
actually
yeah.
didn't have you actually didn't have one of those scrying eyes on you when you walked in this time.
Oh, it's because she was still flying with a child in her arms.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If I remember correctly, Morrigan and Brimstone both saw her flying off outside
You
of
did.
the city.
No, she was not flying outside of the city. She was flying towards the castle.
Yeah, just away from the what we now know as the Hydra.
She was flying toward the castle with the child in her arms.
That would
I
make
mean-
sense.
Yeah.
I will point out for you all, even though she might know where the entrance is due to the fact that certain parties might have told her, that doesn't mean she knows how to get through it.
How do you get
That
through?
is true.
Well, it's a labyrinth on the inside.
At the ceiling?
A
What about this?
question
The
about the
closed
device.
space. What?
A question about the device. How
I
well
won't
do
guarantee
you
that I'll
know
answer you.
about it? About how it works in relation when in contact with other potential pieces of Altea?
Well, we sort of repurposed this one. We didn't exactly need its original intended purpose, so we sort of rehashed it a little bit. I guess it would depend on what other pieces you're bringing into the puzzle.
Because we know that they have one, and we have two.
We have 2 or we have 3? I don't know if my little thing counts.
I think that's different. That's crafted, not a piece of her.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, yeah. You're right. That's fair.
At this point, it seems our best option might be even a fucking divine intervention. I don't think any divine would look on this and help.
Mm,
I don't know if any one of them could, even if they wanted to.
And then they'd want to it on would fuck it up.
Tim,
mm-hmm.
we fought a creature that continued to grow multiple heads. Cut one off, more
Hydra.
appeared.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Those are always fun.
Are you able to determine where those creatures are by, I don't know, wild magic?
I do have one of their teeth, one of the Hydra's teeth.
That's a useful alchemical reagent. As for determining where they are through magical means, some people can if they're attuned to particular arcane senses.
Yeah, fails it.
No, not like that. Like sort of the nature arcane senses.
But like a druid.
What are those? No, like the people with the bows.
Rangers.
Yeah. The ones who like to shoot things, but not like how he likes to shoot things, and points at Brimstone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have
I'm never
rangers.
really good at that magic stuff.
We have a few rangers back in town.
I'm just wondering if there was some way we could, if she had more than just that one, then we might be able to track some of their movements.
I mean, maybe.
We're just so lost in the dark as to what's going on.
That typically is the problem with these types of situations. I wish I could give you assistance, but unfortunately you're going a bit out of my wheelhouse in terms of things I was prepared to work on here recently.
As they're kind of taking a short rest, Cat is going to start pinging out a message just to see if she can catch Chutilla, just because she doesn't know where they are. And right now, given everything that's happened, she's very concerned about her friends.
Quick
Oh,
question:
yes.
how combat ready is your regalia?
My regalia? I mean, if you're speaking about combat readiness, it could definitely be in a fight, though I didn't necessarily think about using it here recently. I would need to make sure it's ready to go, which might take me some time.
Is it attuned to only you?
Oh no, it's a vehicle. I have the key for it, but it's a vehicle.
What would
Dealing with it
convince
knows
you
it's-
to let us use it?
What was that?
What would convince you to let us use it?
I mean, not going to lie, I've already done you all a bunch of favors. I literally met you like 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
What if I was to allow you access to a ancient regalia to study?
I mean, it's not particularly anything new for my studies.
What about the molten regalia?
Now, that would have been the one that the Gianci made. Well, among other ones, but he definitely made that one.
Oh.
Claire, that was his
I
name.
know where that one is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
see,
that would certainly be of interest to me, but I'm still kind of curious what you all intend to do.
That's kind of what I'm wondering. Just looks to Keta and Falsey.
Well, I'm
We need
thinking
to-
that.
I didn't get a response back from Chiffon yet.
Well, one of you need to either get Candace,
I didn't.
have no idea, and find out where that entrance is. Well, I suppose we can get it from Tim. And someone needs to run interference on giant bitch that flies through the sky.
The thing is, though, we'd need to figure out how to get through the labyrinth, and given our track
If she
record
never
with
gets that
puzzles.
far, if she never gets that far, we can get the child away from her. Then the actual labyrinth is immaterial.
Oh no, I assure you, it's a real labyrinth. It exists.
No, I mean we won't have to worry
Irrelevant.
about it if we never get there.
And the material means something else, but fair enough.
Yeah, I think she meant irrelevant.
I mean, the only other thing I could think that might be of interest to Tim is maybe talking with the person who actually made the molten regalia. If my theory is correct, then we know him, and I could see where he is and get him in contact with you.
Well, maybe. But, still. You all were curious about the actual design of the device.
Yeah.
And you seem like you're going to be interacting with it. I don't want you to break what I took so long to fix, so I'll give you a little bit of information about that. So, do any of you know what an orrery is?
Orrery?
Yes.
What kind of role would this be, DM?
It's asking if any of you know what an orrery is.
Know what an augury is?
I am aware of what that is above game, but I don't think Brimstone would have any idea.
I've
Well,
never
having
heard
read
of
the
that above game, so
I-
I've heard the word.
I
but
know
can't
that
put my
term.
foot on it.
But I can't put my finger on it. I know I've heard it before.
Brimstone, or Mythosia, if you know what the word means, then I am perfectly fine with Brimstone knowing what it means.
I heard it from Harry Potter, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think that's his right
it's
word.
been a while since but yeah, just I mean, I've heard about it. Definitely heard about it. I think I've seen a couple, but yeah, I can't fucking remember.
Okay, I thought you were saying you actually knew what the word meant.
No,
No, now I remember where I heard the word from.
I'm only familiar with the word.
Gotcha.
There was a
Well,
way to
since
say-
you all seem to be rubbing your heads in confusion,
it's like, oh no, I remember. I remember.
you just looked it up, though. Anyways, an
No.
orrery is a device that projects the pathways of the stars to you.
Ah, right. Yes, I remember. I remember
Star Trek.
now.
Yes. However, it's not exactly a normal thing to have. Because as I'm certain you all are aware, there are no other places.
I think I might have seen one, some noble's treasure or curio.
Yeah. They're old
Library.
relics of the past.
I
So,
saw a couple of broken ones in the Zemoda's temple.
Yes.
this thing is a star chart of sorts.
Well, for the sake of those who would have seen these, so I'll say Dravince because you mentioned the old art things, Failsy, and for some reason Brimstone.
Probably Patton.
Yeah, probably Patton. You remember seeing these weird devices that seem to depict a bunch of concentrical discs moving around each other? And some of them having like internal rings that would rotate around. It's not like how in our world an orrery is, it depicts planets. But for the sake of above game to give you all some visual representation, it is depicting the movement of the planes around each other.
Hmm.
Kind of like that weird thing that Olgra has in the Dark Crystal, the big...
That's an orrery.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm because I was just to give myself my own personal visual of what this is supposed to look like.
Yes, that thing in the Dark Crystal is in fact what an orrery is.
Okay, but instead of planets and such, it's the planes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like any of you who have seen one, it seems to depict these weird crystal discs or like colored metal discs moving around each other and like interlocking through each other at points. They're
So-
very bizarre and kind of hurt the brain to look at.
So what does something that involves a whole bunch of discs that rotate amongst one another? How does that play in here?
Well, there appear to be relics of the past, but this particular one was imbued with incredibly powerful magic. The exact nature of the magic was mostly devoted to transportation and exploration, to be honest. But the sheer power of the device was able to be tilted and bent in particular ways. It's missing a lot of pieces.
Hmm.
So if I'm trying to understand this, oh sorry.
It's fine. To my understanding, and I don't mean to raise alarm since I think you mentioned something about trying to find pieces of Altea before, but I believe it is technically speaking her heart.
Yeah. That.
Like
Huh.
the actual framework of her heart.
The-
From what I'm understanding, this device was originally, I assume, made to travel the planes.
You wit, Kata, you don't know
Sorry?
about planes. Planes don't exist in this world.
Originally made to travel,
But
It
to
was-
what?
and I mean, I assume it might have gotten broken when she fell.
Well, no, it wasn't broken then. It was broken when she was torn apart and used to make a bunch of other magical devices.
I
But
wonder if we
the functionality of
Boy.
the functionality of transportation and such that fits the bill, so to speak.
Yes. However, it had a particular feature about it where the longer you were in the presence of it, it would slowly change your natural perceptions of the world.
Oh, that's some fucky shit.
Make you
Yes.
calmer?
Well, not originally, but that's what we did to it.
Was that supposed to make you more like a war forward?
No, it was more along the lines of supposed to make you
Oh,
more of an
right.
explorer. Altea, by design, was an explorer.
You more curious.
Pretty much. So we decided to bend that a little bit and make it to where it made you more calm. And we applied it directly to the essence of this being underneath the city.
How can you apply something to the essence of something?
Well, when
Magic.
you've got explicit access to all of its remains, it's pretty easy.
So even if one bone was to be removed, everything would be fucked.
Not everything, but it would start to undo the whole process, and the more bones that get removed from there, the more the process gets undone. What would specifically undo the process is if the device is moved from its current position.
Do you
Is it-
think
Sorry.
if the device was originally built for travel, do you think we could send the whole thing on a trip?
Well, it was. The issue is, it was clearly originally built to travel in the same way that Altea herself traveled, which was to burgeon through. This is a bit of a weird one. I don't think any of you will understand this, but to burgeon through the separation between realms.
The what?
So we dump the
Like
bones
here
in
and
between
elsewhere?
realms?
Yes, here and elsewhere are two separate realms, though they're very closely tied together and practically overlay on top of each other. To the best of our arcane understanding, though we don't truly know or understand how, Altea comes from a completely different realm.
Kind of like himself.
Yes.
So if
Given
Altea
that
travels between realms, can we just shunt him halfway to a realm?
No, it would need to be completed to do that.
And it's pretty well busted.
Yes,
I mean,
we found maybe, as far as I could tell, there were 6 pieces missing out of it. There's 6 rather large sections of the device missing.
I know where
Excuse me?
2 are.
So wait, this brings up the thought: if Valtia comes from a different place, and so does himself, could they have come from the same place?
I mean,
Possibly.
honestly, dear, couldn't tell you. Everything that happened way back then is before my time, and that's saying something.
Well, I mean, given off of the knowledge of me talking and for a lot of research, himself was given the name of the Shepherd because, as he himself said, he brought people over. It's assumedly that he brought those heroes over. So those heroes that killed that thing weren't even from here.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yes, the heroes of the Drakenfell.
Yes, so if assumedly he has that much power to bring at least 5 people over, and apparently also a bunch of humans and all. I mean,
I
who's to
mean,
say
he
that
wasn't,
didn't-
to my understanding and from what I can remember, he was not the only thing that brought people.
Also, kind of getting a little off topic of the whole situation.
Alright,
Are we?
trying to understand.
I don't actually
Kind
know
of-
what topic you're going for.
Sorry, I'm just trying to understand something that's very foreign to me, Dorente.
Anyways. So yes, that's currently what the device is doing. Also, Keta, you get back the message simply. All right, I guess I'll get prepared to get ready to do a save.
I Guys, I got a message back from Chiffon. They said, I'll get, ready to do a save. I told them that most likely it's not going to be at the castle. I haven't heard. I've tried pinging out for Big Friend, but she must not be within the 120 so feet.
But
Do you
yes,
have any clue on what pieces would be needed?
I mean, missing pieces are missing pieces, my friend.
I mean, do we need to go beat Aquila over the head
I don't know.
and take his trident?
I don't. No, it wouldn't be that. That was made of something else.
What about Ignesia? I mean, she's the crafter god. It seems more likely that she'd be the one to rip her apart.
Tim just sort of shrugs at you. Which, by the way, at this point, he's literally only wearing linen pants.
Which, I don't think Ignesia participated in the final. Anyway,
Yeah, speaking of getting off topic, that's a lot. Oh, thank you, Mr. Cuddles. Thank you. He pets the cat on the head, who currently has a scroll in its mouth.
Aww.
Good kitty.
All right, here you go. One freshly made invisibility scroll.
so how long does those last?
It's an hour or until you decide to break invisibility.
Which generally that's casting a spell, tapping.
Any aggressive attempt that makes you move too quickly will cause invisibility to break.
Yep.
It's a very fragile enchantment.
Failsy, you seem like the most likely one. I don't know if they. No, never mind. I don't want to know if we should send Failsy in. Given your
mean-
disposition to the place, Failsy, no offense, but I'd be worried that you might just blow everything up.
I'd be
You're not
Well-
leaving me behind.
I'll be willing to sneak in. You can make me invisible.
No, you'd have to make yourself invisible right then and there to make the most use of the scroll.
Our main target should be Sonata.
Agreed.
Getting
Wait.
her away from Aria.
Which is why I think I should go in.
Javinci can also move the fastest.
I
Get
kind
you-
of want to take a swing at Aria.
Right now, I don't think that's gonna be good.
If anything, to be a distraction so you don't have a giant fire-breathing woman coming down on your face.
But we'd have to either wait it out for you to get back to us or leave you behind here.
Yen, think I should go in. I have ways to get out.
If we get you at least close enough to the castle, Javinci, I could give you some inspiration before you go into. You know how
Oh.
well that suits.
Sorry, Keta. Tim, could you take a look out to the southwest? Morgan, you were saying there was like some commotion over there.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I could certainly hear it.
He just sticks his head out the hole in the wall he made. A little bit of a commotion going on in the southern market.
Any ideas to what it is?
It's probably Boris. Trying to intimidate people.
Yeah, it sounds like that's about it. Right?
Okay, so no giant monster.
I don't see a giant... Well, Boris, but I don't see a giant monster.
So aside from a monster of a man, no monster.
Isn't today the day?
Deadline.
Yeah.
And
Which
Boris is
Nada would have been in the southern market had we not.
Intervened.
We prevented that one, but
We caused another.
yeah.
Anyway, we need to figure out what
The
what
guards
we're
go
doing.
back. The guards go back to the castle. When the curfew hits.
No, generally speaking, they go back to their barracks, except for the ones that do the night patrols. The barracks are the various pillars you can see along the city walls.
Given
Would-
everything that's happening, I don't trust that fucking monster not be out and about.
Boris?
Yes.
Oh no, you can definitely trust that he'll be asleep at night. The man's incredibly lazy.
What if we were to maybe take out Boris?
I fail to see how that would benefit you.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, we
Why
don't
would
have
you
another
not?
additional problem running around.
I think
he's
if he
not
becomes a
so
problem-
target, he's not a
Problem.
problem.
If he becomes one, I think we can handle him easily enough.
Well, I have an idea.
Hmm.
Well, you all want to be able to get to this place, and it's very likely that your person you're dealing with has gotten to this place. Probably currently trying to work their way through it now.
Yeah.
He just walks towards Lionel. It's about time that I help you out again.
I'm serious about
Alright.
getting you in contact with.
You
our
look
friend
as
Blair.
Lionel looks very confused, and then Tim backhands him.
Oh.
Are you making him remember things by hitting him?
He just says.
I mean, I'm backing up against a wall.
Nope, gotta get it the other way. Here, hold still. Then, like, Lionel's like head is spinning, and then he slaps him the other way.
Da Vinci's just sitting nearby, just calmly. This is interesting.
That's
Like,
not how you
Tim
heal
grabs him by the head and like looks into the eye slot of the helmet. All right then, slaps him again.
To be fair, that's not how Vivian heals people, and even then, it is.
No,
Alright,
this
then.
one-
I've been around enough orcish healers to know that's not how you heal people.
All right then, that should put you back in order a little bit, boy.
This wouldn't
What?
happen into with the whole hole in him, right?
Oh, there's a hole. Oh my God, there's a hole in him. He like looks down.
Oh! I didn't see that there.
No, I was just giving him back some stuff.
Fair enough.
Why?
He's come to me so many times to get things removed. I'm giving him something back for a change.
Okay.
Oof.
Is it going to hurt him?
I don't know. Let's see. He takes a step back as Lionel's like trying to recollect himself.
That's still
Any
clinging
of
to a
the
wall.
direct magic casters. So I'm going to say for the sake of this, Failsy and Keta make an Arcana check.
Lord.
Would a half-caster count or no?
No, because you wouldn't get access to this spell, I don't think.
19.
Okay.
Caster. Or Keta's nervous. She's clinging to a wall.
Failsy, you somewhat recognize this spell because you've had it offered to be cast on you in the past. He seemingly, through very weird means, was counteracting a modify memory spell.
Brimstone just thought he was slapping his memories back.
He was slapping his memories back.
Yeah, but Brimstone didn't know it was a spell.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely get that sense that it's a very strange way to perform the ritual, but he was just undoing modified memory. Oh my.
I'll have to remember that way of forming that spell.
You see Lionel just sort of look surprised through his helmet.
Lionel, are you okay?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, your voice changed.
Did it? I mean, he just sort of had a deep voice before.
What do you remember?
I remember my time guarding that location. Tim removed it before because I stopped being under that position. Okay.
Okay, so you know where we need to go if we
Yeah.
just.
Oh, now I understand why you did that, Tim.
Yes, because you got way too nosy and you actually started exploring the place. You're only supposed to guard the fucking door.
Well, that might be helpful in this case.
Hey, about that labyrinth thing, is there like a secret way to go through it? Any kind of markers we need to look for?
Got a map?
I mean, no, we designed it based off the thing underneath there. It's constantly changing.
Got an evolving map?
I don't have an evolving map, but I do have. Give me a second.
He just starts walking upstairs.
Oh wait, never mind. Wrong way. Going downstairs.
He walks back downstairs.
I have a lot of stuff in this house. Give me a break.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You can hear him messing around with stuff directly below you all at this point.
Cactus just kind of slowly approach Lionel and just like kind of touch his shoulder, like, you feeling okay, buddy?
Yeah, I actually feel fine.
What?
I mean, I'm currently struggling slightly to breathe, but I'm otherwise fine.
Oh, that's the whole in.
If I'm not going into combat, I could probably spend some time trying to not have you bleed out.
No, it's slowly knitting itself closed. I'll be fine.
So, what can you tell us? What did you learn?
Well, I remember where in the castle the entrance is. It's in one of the
Okay.
deeper catacombs. I do remember the particular passageway you have to go through to get down there.
So it is in the castle.
It's underneath the castle, and the entrance is not in the castle.
Where is the entrance?
It's actually near the eastern edge of the city.
Okay.
I
Right.
hope none of you mind going through sewers.
Yeah, I've done worse.
Well,
I grew up in a farming village. I think I can handle some sewer smells. Can't be any worse than manure.
You've never experienced compiled human feces, but still.
I tend to have in my life avoided every single situation that would involve going down into a sewer.
Well, you can't avoid this one, so. Well, I guess you can, but.
Well, I'll give you all a bit of relief. We can either go through there, or we can go through the waterway that is outside the city. But if speed is the thing you want, we should go through the sewers in the eastern side of the city.
Can we fit a regalia in there?
Again with the regalia.
You are just stuck on that.
I don't know how big it is.
oh, probably very big.
Probably
Tim, how
not.
big regalia?
Last I checked, about 15 feet tall. It's not the
Okay.
biggest regalia, but it's decent.
Size of a giant.
About 15 feet tall.
I was trying
Yeah.
to make one of the regalias that Flerigus made, but yeah, he was a lot better at it than I was.
Wait, Flerigus?
Something like that. He had a weird name.
Explains why he shortened it to Flare.
Hard to pronounce. Didn't bother trying to learn.
Guys, put it on the itinerary. At some point, we're going to meet Flair again. I really need to talk to him.
You have to find him again.
I can't to consent to him to see where the fuck he is.
Doesn't mean he's gonna respond.
I don't think I
Yeah.
message him.
Well, at least we know that he's alive.
Alright then. Oh, here it is. Found it. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Aside from that, I know where the entrance to get down there is, and we wouldn't be spending that much time in the waterways. There's actually sigils made to teleport down there.
Okay. I think I can deal with that.
Because the actual tomb location is about 1,000 feet below the surface of the city,
That's deep.
with no physical entrance.
I mean, so it's just a way to keep people who want to get in out.
Yes, there's only 2 entrances, and by extension, they are also functioning as the 2 exits. It was designed that way so in the worst case scenario, the person on the inside could destroy the entrances, trapping themselves inside, but sealing off all possible entry into the location. At least
Makes
without
sense.
some serious excavation efforts.
Are we gonna have to go? Like when we're talking waterways, are we talking swimming?
Mm,
On a boat.
more wading than swimming, but yes.
Well, do you still have those weird herbs that can help underwater?
What?
We only talked about them teaching me how to swim before, and you said there was this weird plant that could help with that.
I'd have to go find some. Like, I'd probably have to go, like, look around shops around. I know there's, like, an apothecary just down the road because I could smell it.
I don't think you want to be putting your head under the water in this particular place.
If we go through the waterway entrance, you could without any concern. If we go through the sewer entrance, I don't recommend it.
Oh, I'm not gonna stick my head in shit water.
So
if
I
we
need to go get the stuff.
If we go through the sewer entrance, will we have to go into the water?
Not unless you make some kind of mistake.
Hmm.
The sewers are built with walkways beside them and water channels.
Are there any beasties in the sewers that you poop?
Maybe some slimes, large rats, the occasional giant bat. Other than that, not really.
It could be worse. I've heard of alligators.
Those aren't native to this part of the world.
And for the better.
I don't think they do particularly well in the colder climate.
Are we going sewers or waterways, people?
If we want expediency, we're gonna have to go sewers, and I would assume any rats that are gonna be in there. If they're giant, they're not gonna be as friendly as Charles was.
Tim actually has like a map of the city and the surrounding countryside sort of pinned to a wall nearby. And Lionel just walks over to it and points to here. So this is where the sewer entrance is.
Yeah.
The waterway
Good.
entrance is in this small hamlet outside the city.
That involves
Yeah,
both all of us going
is
through
yours.
both. Ways.
I guess sewer is the best way to go then.
I know for
Uh,
certain the waterway entrance would be large enough to fit a regalia into at least this. If it's 15 feet tall, it'll fit into the waterway entrance.
Now I want to go waterway.
Well, if we're working under the assumption we can't borrow the regalia, and we want to be speedy, the sewer is our best option.
I mean, I'm waiting for some magic words.
Please and thank
Please?
There you go.
He says as he emerges from the lower level again.
Would you like some more candy too?
I would love some more candy.
you. I'll owe you a favor.
The please and thank you is enough for now.
So we can
Listen.
take it.
Again, I'm going to have to give one of you a crash course on how to drive it before I'll let you take it, which will take time.
I say brimstone.
How long amount of time? Because we have to take into account that we need to travel out to the waterways. So
About how much time would we be saving going through the sewers?
Getting to the sewer entrance from here would probably take about an hour and a half. Getting outside the city would, again, take about an hour and a half, but then the walk, we can actually run because we're not going to be trying to push through people the whole time.
And that's with either option.
He's saying that going this way to get to this exit would take about an hour and a half, and getting here would take about an hour and a half. But then, like, this whole pathway, you guys wouldn't have to, like, move cautiously at all. You could just book it. So this would probably take about another hour, like 2 hours to get here.
I was meaning once we're in the sewer or the waterway.
Oh. I mean, it's about 10 minutes.
By the way.
Minus
Well,
any teleportation from the tower.
Go through 10 minutes of foulness, and we save 2 hours and potentially. How long? Sorry, Tim. How long would it be to do a crash course?
I'd at least need to take 3 hours to go all over all of the controls you're gonna have to learn.
Above game, what would be the best character to learn?
I'm not answering that question.
I mean, what would we need? Like either high strength or high intelligence?
I'm not answering that question. None of you know how to drive regalias.
Yeah.
Thinking it most likely be more high intelligence. Like retain all the knowledge that Tim has to impart on you.
I mean,
So
We also don't know if this thing can even fit in the labyrinth.
Oh no, it definitely could.
Tim, you're not helping me any.
You're asking questions. I'm answering.
Arya bitch slapped your boyfriend through a house.
That did hurt.
I know it hurt. I saw it.
How do you think round 2 is going to go?
Been terrible.
And not only that, we need to then take a child away from her that she really, really wants to keep next to her.
okay, so if we take the regalia and we get all this done, how are we getting it back to Tim and not just abandoning it in the labyrinth?
I mean, I can get it back out.
I mean, I'm assuming that he won't let us teleport out, so we have to bring the thing back to the surface at least.
I just literally said I can get it back out.
It's
Well, are we able to teleport in and out of the labyrinth?
No,
Yeah,
I'm not asking you. I'm not saying I'd teleport it out. I'd say I'd go in and get it back out.
I guess that's fair.
so, Tim, to teach somebody this very quickly, would they need to be very strong to do this, or like just look of mind? Is seeing that you are a wizardly type, I assume it more so quick.
You'd have to be mechanically inclined.
Yeah, Brimstone. I think he's the best at this. He made a gun.
That doesn't translate.
I mean, intelligence would definitely be important. Intelligence and wisdom.
I was gonna say, do you trust me to learn this? Don't trust
No.
me to learn this.
I trust you to learn it.
I'd be
How
the
about-
only one.
And can you teach a few of us, and see which of us gets?
I mean, I can run you all through the crash course. It's not like you have to individually do it.
See who maybe best retains the information on how to do it.
I don't see myself being any good at that.
It's like I have good
So
intelligence,
we
I
have,
have shit wisdom.
so we have the options of either we go to the sewers and get there faster and potentially prevent any situation from getting worse, or we go through the crash course in the waterways, costing it an extra 5 hours or so. In
How long would
order,
it take to get to the labyrinth, though? That's the thing. She still has to figure out how to get through the labyrinth and break through magical wards that are set up.
I'll Also, just above
Tim.
game DM. What time is it?
At this point, you guys had rested, come to Tim's place, which took 3 hours. So, at that point, it would have been around noon. Because you stayed up pretty late the night previous, so it would have been around noon when you got to Tim's place. Teleported back, teleport back and did the fight, which took in grand total around 30 minutes. Well, to run into the house, then run back out after the monster and beat it.
About 3:30 now.
Yeah, so yeah, it's about 3 o'clock, 3:30 now. I'll say because you have a watch, it is exactly 3:18.
So, we also have to keep into account that at 9 o'clock, the curfew hits, and we got about 5 to 6 hours before curfew hits.
Can we trouble you for a second teleport today?
I've got another teleport in me.
Okay, so only 3 hours in Dravinci.
I mean, I don't think we care much about curfew or breaking any more laws at this point.
Also, quick point of order. I hate to be the one to point this out, but I could teach multiple of you. My regalia is actually meant to be used by 2 people. It's kind of why I don't use it right now.
Like that's
Because
a
I'm
thing.
still training my cats on how to use it.
So 2 people would have to be. At least 2 of us would have to learn anyway.
Just
One person manages the movement and physical actions forward, and I also have an arcane cannon attached to the back of it, which requires another person to aim and move.
So 2 of us need to be able to understand how to use this then.
Brimstone.
As long as you want to use the arcane cannon,
Brimstone.
which also has a pulse engine on the back of it too.
Giant cannon.
Well, let's run you all through the course and see how it goes.
Fair enough.
alright.
I'm just gonna reach out and touch Brimstone and be like, "You got this, I believe in you, I can't do this." And give him inspiration.
I mean, he's doing it for all of us, I assumed.
Like, yeah,
you-
it's more so, I assume there might be a roll, so it's just,
There is going to be rolls.
yeah, just pat,
Yeah.
give you inspiration.
Lee actually just gives you a pat on the head, Cat is just like, you're gonna blow stuff up.
Gives her inspiration.
Here's some inspiration.
Says a D8 as well.
He's the same level as you guys.
Yeah.
Imagine his head just goes down with it when he pats it, like, okay.
Alrighty then.
You're all-
So as Tim begins instructing, the first thing to learn is going to be how to actually power the regalia up, which is going to rely on an arcana check.
Good.
So everyone who wants to roll can roll an arcana check.
Jaina.
18!
24.
15.
Okay.
Alright, everyone pass the roll to learn how to turn the thing on.
The most important step, honestly.
Yes.
How to hotwire it.
Really. You can't hotwire
Damn it,
regalia.
Felzy, I had a drink in my mouth. You nearly made me snort lemon water out my nose.
No, don't
Now
do
that's
that.
how it burns. Alrighty then. So you all pass the roll for the crash course in how to turn on a regalia. It's essentially him showing you the very long-winded process of powering the regalia on, which is basically very specific sequences of button presses along with switches flipped and very precise timings of waiting for the various arcane batteries to start pumping energy through the muscle fibers of the regalia. Which, by the way, at this point, you guys are going to get to see it, so let me find the image reference I had for it for you guys, and then I will describe it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we get to finally see what a modern regalia looks like.
That also brings up the question, does this regalia look like the others Keta has seen in the visions? Visions, but recorded history.
I mean, regalia differ wildly depending on who make them.
Fowles has been working on a walking volcano.
Yeah, like
Kinda.
some regalia are literally just essentially giant forklifts that are just made to move things.
Mhm.
Other regalias resemble gigantic mechanoid knights. Others still more resemble traditional mecha if they're made by much more mechanically inclined people. Or some of them look like walking lava monsters.
I'm gonna laugh at this one. Looks like some sort of skeleton thing.
Turns out it's a cat with the cannon on its back.
It's just a cat. Literally just a cat. No. What you all see when you go down to observe, or rather, when you go up to observe this entity, what you see is a massive stone and steel construct, which appears to be not held together via traditional means. So it doesn't have like joints and proper muscle fibers, but rather it is being held together by these array of floating crystals that have energy arcing between them. And the whole body of this entity is carved with intricate runes that are all lighting up in sequence as Tim powers the device on.
Oh, that
Seeing-
looks cool.
So
Sees
cool.
crystals with arcing energy. PTSD flashbacks to the labyrinth.
Here's the thing, Javinci. They actually do look somewhat similar. And so does the weird, occasionally blue to red to purple lightning that arcs between them.
Just goes complete blank face seeing them.
But yes, this one is very much more a magical regalia as opposed to being a mechanical regalia.
It's just, when I saw them in the sitting down, I didn't think they would be this cool.
Alrighty then. So you all seem to all be getting a firm grasp on how to power the regalia on. We're now going to do crash courses in movement. So who wants to go first?
You.
What? Did you volunteer? Get up here.
Kenta, you just start floating into the air.
Get up here.
I honestly thought she went meow. That's all I heard.
Alright. So you get to see the inside of this thing's cockpit, which, as you all saw previously, it has all these switches around you, but then there are these basically crystal handles for you to grab onto, and pedals that are on the bottom of what is essentially a seat. If you all want to have some kind of visual reference to at least have some idea of what this would look like, look up the cockpit of the Big O robot from the anime Big O.
Oh, I know what that looks like.
Yeah, where it's got these pedals and these crystal handles that are on these tracks. Alright, so all you have to do is, and he starts explaining, I would like for you to make a flat-out intelligence check.
Alright.
Intelligence and a dexterity check, sorry.
Alright, so intelligence first and dexterity?
Yes, and because he is instructing you, you technically have advantage, because he's individually instructing you rather than in general instructing you.
Let me reroll. Let me roll that.
Yeah, you have advantage on...
You said it as I clicked it to roll, so it already went through.
Yeah.
I assume
So-
it's only on the intelligence and then dex is normal?
Yeah, I was going to say you have advantage on one of them of your choice.
I'd rather take that on intelligence.
That's fair. So 15, that's enough to pass. Dexterity, 22, that's enough to pass.
Alright, you seem to be getting a hang of this. Good job, good job. See, it's not too hard to move around. Just don't make any super sudden movements while you're still getting used to it. You might crush your friends.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Keta, it is bizarre to essentially move your arm as if you're just like winding it back to throw a punch, and then to feel this massive construct move alongside you.
Yeah, it's like, I thought this would be terrifying when I first saw them.
Yes, it is. It is very often and warned upon anyone who drives a regalia that it will make you experience a sense of power and mass hysteria. Do not let that go to your head.
I'm calm. I'm calm. I got this.
You don't seem very calm, but I'll let you go. All right, so you seem to be pretty good at it. Here, take a few steps.
Right, step.
You managed not to crush your friends.
All right, so you're pretty good.
The way
Let's give one of the other ones a chance.
Right.
All right, who wants to go next?
E.
All right, you come up here, purple one.
You just get dragged into the air, Failsy.
does Kenta get like shunted down?
Yeah, it's pretty much as Failsy is moving towards you, you just get lifted up out of the seat and like in the exact opposite pathway. Just you guys just go flying past each other.
If I can, I'm gonna give Felzy a high five as I go down.
Bye.
Speed high five.
Alrighty then. Alright, you seem fairly intelligent. I'll give you the quick rundown. I mean, you heard what I said to her, so let's go ahead and do it for you again.
So this is an intelligence roll and a dexterity roll. You may choose to have advantage on one of them if you so wish.
Gotta choose beforehand or after?
You choose it beforehand. It's which do you think you need more help on?
Well, they're pretty much equal.
It's your choice of which one you go for.
I suppose I'll go intelligence.
Alright. So go ahead and make the intelligence roll with advantage.
22.
Alright, so you have a decent grasp on the understanding of the mechanics, so go ahead and make a dexterity check to see if you can apply them.
Fuck me, 15.
Alright then. So you're not doing as well as Keta was, but you also managed to not crush your friends. It's a very real possibility right now. It's not a super huge space this regalia is stored in, so as it's walking around, it could very easily step on someone. But yeah, after a few minutes, he's just like, okay, that's enough. Again, immense sense of power and overwhelming sensations of power hungering. So I'm not going to let you keep driving it for right now. Especially considering you were the one who was being all sort of megalomaniacal about the city earlier.
Right now, my desire to destroy the city has been subsided with my unyielding rage to murder my mother.
Okay! Who's next?
That was something I did not need to hear.
I'll go.
Alright. And switching.
Tells you go flying, Traversa, you come flying.
I'm just thinking,
Dog face.
just Tim going, okay, I'm not going to unpack that one.
It's pretty much what he did, he just didn't say it.
Alrighty then. Third verse, same as the first. We're doing it again. Come on. So go ahead and
Okay.
make an intelligence and dexterity check. You can choose to have advantage on one of them.
Good thing I went with advantage on the intelligence, 12, and then a 21.
Alright. Unfortunately, the intelligence comes first. You don't really grasp how to make the thing. You don't really understand how to get the relation between the device's movements to match your own. Probably because you are so used to these very fluid movements, but this thing is incredibly heavy and cannot match that same sort of fluid speed.
Also, this thing's probably not very clockwork enough for him.
No, it's not very clockworky.
We might be able to get you to learn it given some more time, but given this is a crash course, I think we should just move on for now.
Okay.
We might be able to help you learn how to use the gun, though, since that's going to be pretty important still. But so far, so good. We've had 3 people already be able to figure out how to make it move. All right,
Yank your mouth off there, bud.
2. I'm honestly kind of expecting you to be okay with that, if given everyone looks at you every single time I've mentioned driving it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, black or green one? Which one's next?
Brimstone, try it.
Fine.
You don't seem very enthusiastic.
He never is.
That's fair.
Mm.
Get up here! Zoom. Alright then. So, you know how this drill goes.
Yeah, I'll take the advantage on the intelligence smeller skill.
Alright.
Good thing.
22 is definitely enough.
And 18.
And an 18 is enough. So yeah. All in all, Brimstone, you are probably the one getting the most hang of it in terms of movements. At least so far.
He's had the luxury of watching the other people try.
Yeah, you've both had the luxury of watching other people try, and you've seen Regalias in combat before.
Yeah,
You kind of already have a grasp of how they move.
yeah.
Like, you know that you can't make them move super fast.
From what he's heard, there's a little bit of a difference in time between you moving and the thing actually fully moving.
It does actually seem to be responding fairly instantly. It's not that, it's not that it's not matching you in terms of reaction time. It's that the physical distance being covered causes the thing to move slower.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's the same reason why there's the weird thing about not being able to slap a fly, because they're so much smaller and thus have such a quicker reaction time than us.
Right.
It's just that in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're doing fairly well. I think you might so far be the best candidate as a driver.
Yes.
Oh, but there's still one person left. Let's see if she does any better.
I doubt I
Throws you away,
will.
Brimstone.
I doubt I will, but I'll give it a try.
Come on.
You can do it, Morrigan.
Oh, okay.
You just get zipped up into the air, Morrigan, which is a very bizarre feeling.
Oh, that
Just
feels
yanked
weird.
forward.
Oh, that feels weird.
Yeah, people complain about it the first time, but I don't really want to have to get a ladder to let you guys get up here.
Fair enough.
Anyways, he just plops you down into the cockpit.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right, I will take that advantage on intelligence.
Everyone has so far.
I have a better modifier to
I
dex. It makes
understand.
sense.
I understand. Go ahead.
19.
All right. With his instruction, you're getting a decent grasp of how to move it.
And now for dexterity. 12.
Right. It's unfortunately the opposite problem of what Jervinche was having, where you kind of understand how he's explaining it, but then actually applying it is really bizarre. Like, the notion of physically moving this device and having it move alongside you is really disorientating because of that weird reaction divide.
So
It's-
she
it's hard
groks
to
how
come
it's
over.
supposed to work. It's applying that's the issue.
Yeah. It's like, explaining it, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I can figure that out. Actually doing it, what the fuck?
Oh, like me with Sudoku.
There you go.
I understand how it works, but I've only ever been able to solve one Sudoku.
Yeah. Alright then. You definitely could probably figure it out with enough teaching, but again, we're kind of having to roll through this.
Yeah.
At this point, it's been almost 2 hours of you guys trying to do this stuff. Because he lets each one of you walk around for a little bit as you're trying to figure it out. Occasionally stopping you if you look like you're about to step on someone. Or one of his cats, which are everywhere.
Cat has picked up many cats.
Yeah.
There's just petting them.
Real quick, I'm just gonna, once we get finished with the regalia training, can we take bio break?
Yes.
Okay.
All right then. So the next step is going to be gun. Who wants to try gun?
Can go first again if you would like, Tim.
Okay, get up here. All right, so he moves you around to the back of the device,
he kicks it a few times, and then a panel on the back of it just sort of slides open and folds upwards to make almost a secondary head that comes out of this thing's back. And you just watch as this massive barrel starts folding out of it. It's almost like you're seeing it be fabricated pixel by pixel at a time.
Grower dodge.
This says under the bed. If I ever make my own regalia, it might have a cannon like this.
It takes a long time. Now get in it.
Okay.
He just shoves you in the cockpit. The control scheme for this is considerably simpler than the one that lets you actually move the regalia. This is like a tank controls where you can like turn your positioning and adjust how high and low you're aiming.
Huh.
It's also then you notice you're not actually physically attached to the back of the regalia anymore.
Oh no.
There are like these little arcs of lightning that are attaching you to it, but you are free floating behind it. It's basically a little balloon that's attached to its back.
I have a backpack.
Well, a backpack is if you were still attached, but yeah.
You know what I mean.
You're like a parachute almost.
Get the parachute.
Alrighty then. So you're free floating right now. This is to enable you to also aim down, which is pretty important. Well, down and forward in front of the regalia, because if I just left you locked to the back of it, it'd be very difficult to aim forward reliably.
You guys see all directions.
Pretty much. Also, being able to aim directly up without disorientating you too badly. Anyways.
He like looks over to another part of the wall.
Mr. Puffles, please go place a lit vase over there. We're gonna try to shoot it.
A cat just walks out with basically a water pitcher in its mouth. Puts them on a table.
Alright, we're going to try to shoot that.
Right.
It should actually be fairly simple. It's just going to rely on you learning how to use the targeting system of this device.
Alright.
Oh, and then being able to resist the fact that it's going to be moving around while you're doing this.
He climbs into the cockpit.
Okay.
So, mechanically speaking, this is going to relate to another intelligence check and a constitution saving throw.
Okay. Okay, this is gonna be fun. So, which one do you want first? Intelligence and con?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna roll.
All right, then. By the way, you will not be getting assistance on these ones because he's no longer assisting you because he's driving the thing around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but
I'm
you
gonna use
understand.
my inspiration.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
It's a 15.
That gets you to the point of passing. Keta.
I guess it doesn't matter for con saves. For con.
Hmm?
So that was a con check, not a con save.
It is a con save. But I think it would be the same bonus anyways.
Yeah, it's a 2 bonus on the con save.
I think it's
I will
cool.
let it slide.
And
No.
it's essentially a 2 right there anyway.
Yeah.
All right, then. But yeah. You surprisingly get a hang of how the targeting system works. It's a bunch of these weird like crystal rings that are floating around the glass dome above you. If you want to envision something, you're basically sitting in like a little UFO type construct
Ooh, cool.
with like a long barrel that's not actually attached to it, but it's just floating around in front of it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like these crystal rings that are floating around the glass of the glass at the top of it, and they, as you are like looking and pointing the barrel at things, they'll line up along it. And eventually, you take a second to aim, and you definitely get that thing into your sight. And then Tim suddenly starts moving around the regalia, and you're like, gotta barf, gotta barf. And you're just like, you remember Lee believes in you, and you hold down the barf and aim true, and then the vase and the wall behind it explodes. As you all just see a just that sort of sound ringing through the chamber, and then no more vase. So no more wall. as just a giant bead of force just punched through them.
Yeah, Cat has been tossed around enough by plenty of horses. Like, all right, I need to keep this down. I need to keep this down.
All right, pretty good, pretty good. Now do it 4 more times.
Oh god.
You don't actually have to roll anymore, but for flavor, that's what happens.
Yeah, just Cat goes, oh no.
All right. I mean, technically speaking, we don't have to have any more of you trained, since she seems to have it pretty down pat, and if that green fellow wants to drive, then we've got our pairing. Well, a couple of you can drive, actually. But he seemed the best.
So, you want to do it?
Uh,
I mean, if someone else wants to try to learn how to use the gun, we can.
I guess I'll try if it doesn't take too long. Oh, Morgan, unless you want to.
I don't know, there might be something I can do to help with this bit of it.
Alrighty then.
Then you first.
Tiny pink one. Goodbye.
A high five water gun as she comes up.
Does Morgan react to the high five?
Yeah, she'll return it.
All right, then.
The second catches on stable ground. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, it's very much sea legs.
Alrighty then. So, we're going to try to teach you how to use the arcane cannon now.
Alrighty.
So,
He just runs through the whole instruction situation again and then jumps back into the cockpit.
Okay,
So I need to
sorry, it's intelligence, then con save.
an intelligence check and then a con saving throw. You do not get advantage on either, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Okay, here's the int check. That's a 6.
All right, then. And then the constitution saving throw.
18.
Alrighty, then. Luckily, you are not having a good time at all trying to aim this thing. Like, you kind of understand what it's trying to do, but you can't get the rings to line up at all to be actually able to fire. And luckily, you don't get thrown about and get sick enough that at any point you accidentally shoot it anyways. So
Basically,
you manage.
she's getting bounced around in this thing.
Yeah, you're very much just getting bounced and boinged around. At one point, you actually like rise up out of the seat and crack your head on the ceiling.
Ah!
Doesn't do any damage, but it hurts like a motherfucker.
She's just, once it comes to a standstill, she's just rubbing her horns.
I'd say I should move less, but you are probably going to be using this in a fight, so
Yeah,
trying
fair
to give you an
point.
accurate experience.
Yeah, fair point,
Yeah,
fair
practical
point.
application.
Okay, that's, I want out of this thing now, please.
All right, goodbye.
Ah!
Adventure, you want to try?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Just it. I think it would be best for Keta to be the gunner, but I'll give it a try so we have a backup.
Yeah,
Options!
more people we have that do it, the better off we are in case one of us gets disabled.
Eventually, you get flung into the air
Right.
and placed into the cockpit.
All right, then. Let's do this.
Okay,
You know how-
intelligence and then con save.
Yep.
11 and a 13.
Ooh.
Alrighty then. So, Javinche, you're not having a good time of aiming it, but you failed the con check as well, so I'm going to roll a probability to see if you accidentally fire the gun. Do you want to call high or low?
Let's go high.
Alright then. Oh no.
That one?
Boy.
No, I rolled an 8 on a D100,
Oh, shit.
Oh,
which means it is potentially in the threshold of hitting an ally.
Uh-oh.
Accidentally shoots the head off the regalia.
It can't shoot itself, luckily enough. It is physically incapable of shooting itself.
I'm actually just like halfway through it. It's just stop, 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 stop.
You want me to stop? You want me to go faster? Faster, okay.
Stop.
Right then. Keta, high or low?
She had to go for bio break.
Oh, all right then. Someone else high or low, and then Keta might hate you. Mythos,
I know. Hope for low.
Hope for low? Okay. Alright, low. Which means it shoots Lionel, not Lee.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Hey, Lionel, he'll fix himself.
We don't know that for certain with this.
Okay.
Javinci, at one point you like get thrown around and you accidentally smash against the fire button when it's aiming at your allies. Everyone else
Shit.
jumps out of the way, but Lionel was like facing a different direction and turns around just in time to what would be the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Ba-doom, doom, 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 boom.
Yeah, the to be continued.
Yeah, the to be continued sound. As the hole in his chest is now blown through again, and he just looks down at it, looks up at you, and just goes, and then falls over backwards.
Sorry.
Like the most exhausted sigh before collapsing backwards onto the ground.
Better hope we can get back up again. It's the only way in
Right,
there.
that's it.
And there's now about a 6-inch hole in his chest.
Keta run over and
A
kind of
new
just
one
like,
or the same one?
Like the hole that was previously like maybe at most a now closed 1-inch hole from being punctured through with a spear
Is
is now
now.
about 6 inches wide, clear through his body.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
And you just
Yeah.
hear him on the ground going, "Ow."
Yeah, see, most people wouldn't live through that.
he's alive. I think.
That's
Eventually-
subjective.
Get
I
out
don't
of
think
there.
you have a choice.
All right, my friend, I'm going to take you out of there now. Whoop!
Yeah, get me out of this thing.
He's already thrown you.
I wonder if the fundamentals of that are going to be the same as my gun.
So, it seems that they have the two people that fit the best.
Yeah.
All right then. Yeah, I think you two will do pretty well. Also, you two seem to work fairly well as a pair, anyways.
My uncle.
Hmm.
Anyway, so now you said you would teleport us out to.
Yeah, I can send you out to the waterway.
Thank you.
Okay.
That'd
To
be-
cut down on targets, two of you should go ahead and be inside the regalia. Don't ask me why, but for some reason, whenever magic targets a regalia, the creatures inside are considered to be part of the regalia.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of, put something in the bag and then it's just still the bag and not everything inside the bag.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair
Yeah, it
enough.
only counts as one, no matter how many are in there.
I just hope we don't create too big a commotion.
If I carry
I don't
Fenris,
care.
does that count as one?
I
If I carry Fenris, does that count as one?
That's not how that works.
I mean, Rinjay, again, we've already broken plenty of laws.
Yeah, you guys have broken so many laws, particularly by casting magic in the city and not having a license. That's like numero uno in laws.
We're past the point of no return. We have to save the girl.
Alright. Well, get in the thing, teleporting. And on this note, we're going to take bio break.
Yeah.
How do we climb up there?
He throws
Does
you
Tim-
into it.
Does Tim? Okay. I really hoped Kato would not be the one to be like, all right, I understand this.
I mean,
You
I
and
let
Brimstone
roll
would
speak-
probably have drift compatibility, so it works. I'm gonna go use the restroom now.
to be fair, I didn't just elect the two people that would literally be the two people to be able to drive it. I let it be up to rolls, but the rolls
Rolls.
still picked the two people who were likely to be up to drive it.
I mean, Fez would love to drive it, but also considering battle style,
It was because
yeah.
that would
because
be
Brimstone got the best rolls, is why Tim is letting him drive it.
And
He doesn't
also,
want to break.
yeah, and also it makes more sense for Failsy to be outside.
In terms of Keta driving, this Dravinche just thinks back to all of the times where Keta's complained about getting hurt in a fight, and it's just like, oh, having her be in the machine keeps her out of the fight.
Not
Or so she
necessarily.
complains that she almost dies. That's her complaining.
I mean, that depends on how open the cockpit is.
Oh, it closes. It's only been left open right now because Tim's been letting you guys get in and out of it.
Oh, okay.
Like how you
Yeah.
see it in that reference image I sent you is what it looks like when it's typically functioning.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's completely enclosed, therefore Keta is safe. And less likely to die.
My also first thought is the reason why Keta's good at shooting is she's been taking on plenty of hunting trips. How do you know how to shoot so well? I mean, not that hard.
I mean, I don't know if Brimstone being a gunsmith would have conferred any particular advantage to that.
If it was a much more mechanically inclined regalia,
Yeah,
you would have had
exactly.
a better bonus.
Exactly. But since it's more arcane fuckery.
I need a buy break.
Yeah, go buy a break. We're just gonna keep talking, is all.
Yeah. I mean,
Kind of want some cake, but like also. Didn't have cake yet.
entropy.
So after session, I have to go turn in a lotto ticket because I won on a lotto ticket earlier
Nice.
at $2. Hey, I spent $1 on the ticket. So I get $1 return
So you can buy 2 tickets.
and then fail both.
Yeah, exactly.
Ash, are you talking?
No, my fan
Alright.
just makes my microphone pick up.
Just asking.
So whenever we all get back, I'm going, or once Andy gets back, at least if she's leaving.
No, I said after session.
Huh?
I'm not going to get cake right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if you also had to go to the bathroom again.
I went after I did my turn because I
That's
was
why I
already
said
first.
again. Sometimes you get the sneaky pee.
I mean, I have a medical condition for that actually.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oof.
So, since you both are still here, and I don't know if you intend on leaving, I'm making it right now. But I'm going to explain to you how piloting regalia works.
Okay.
So, for the sake of piloting regalia, its wisdom and charisma scores for determining roles are reliant on the driver of the regalia. It applies an innate +5 bonus to intimidation and persuasion rolls while you're in one. That's on top of your standard roll. It has stats, which you will see whenever I put it in your sheet. I'm still making the sheet right now.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it functions essentially like a mount. You can move it on your turn using your action. You'll move on its speed. It does have the ability to fly, but it has a recharge.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, once you use the flight ability, which gives it a essentially don't think of it as much of flight, but think of it as a propulsion jump.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
it functions as a one round 60-foot fly speed.
Okay.
I'm having to still type all this out as I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Keta, this is going to be important for you. The cannon has 30 charges. What these do is you can use them. You can either expend 1 charge to shoot an arcane bolt, or you can use its charges to function as spell slots for you.
I don't have many useful battle spells.
I'm just letting you know. If you have an offensive spell that requires an attack roll or a saving throw, you can use the cannon to apply the spell's effects and expend its charges as instead of expending your spell slots.
No, I don't. Would that also count technically for the spells that I know from my guitar?
No, because those are technically linked to the guitar, not you.
I'm just asking because most of my more kind of combat spells.
I was just letting you know.
My guitar.
This is part of why it would have been okay if Felzy was the driver, but Tim is electing you to do it. Or if Felzy was the gunner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, Spectros. Oh no, not Spectros. Heat metal. Heat metal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or Shatter.
Or otherwise,
No, I have Shattered.
otherwise the arcane bolt. Whenever you fire it, it uses a single charge. You can fire it 3 times around. You have to expend a charge every time. It has an attack bonus that I have to figure out because it's not automatically calculating. It relies off your proficiency modifier, but but the intelligence for the sake of the targeting system is a 24 and it's in stat.
So it's a
Tim
plus
made it.
10. Plus 10.
Yeah, it would be plus 10 because you guys have a proficiency bonus of 3.
And then plus 24 is plus 7.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, the thing to know is that its proficiency bonus is your all's proficiency bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So with its saving throws and everything, it has proficiency in strength, dexterity, and constitution saving throws. But unfortunately, this one does not have a very high dexterity, just as a construct.
Makes sense. Not exactly a live one.
Yeah.
Hi, back.
Welcome back.
I'm assuming Felzy just wasn't let near the cannon.
Not at the moment, at least.
I'm just thinking, it's like, yeah, you just admitted to wanting to murder things, so no. I'm not letting
Right.
you die and fuck off cannon.
Yeah, it would be especially bad. I mean, it would be really good mechanically speaking, but especially bad story-wise speaking, if Felzy was allowed to have the cannon because of what the cannon can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fails, he's just
Oh.
conjuring acid waves.
Felzy just cannibalizing every single spell
Every single spell
spell
charge.
slot into sorcery points and pumps every sorcery point into cannon.
Actually, no, you can't put spell slots into the cannon, but it will use its charges to cast your spells.
God damn it, dogs.
Yeah.
So also
you could
to
just
explain it to you,
siphon.
Felzy, for future reference, is at least with this regalia, its arcane cannon has 30 charges on its cannon, essentially to be used as ammo. But if you're in the regalia and being the one shooting the gun, you can cause its charges to be expended instead of expending your spell slots to cast spells through the cannon.
Now, how does that work with upcasting?
Unfortunately, it can only cast them at base level.
Still, fireballs, or in Felzy's case, acid waves. Someone let the dog out and is barking at next door. Or next door's barking at our dog.
All right then.
Chris.
I made a super simple character sheet that I'm going to show to both Andy and Mythosia,
Mhm.
just so you guys have a reference for its stats.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very nervously munching on pretzels.
All right then. So you all should have it in your character sheets now.
There we are.
Yeah, I made like a super simple character sheet for it.
Mhm.
I'll make a more detailed one later when I have time.
Because I don't think we
Right.
might be getting into combat tonight with it.
I kind of planned for us to, but we'll see how it goes.
Given time
Yeah.
and all.
Depends how soon we run straight into bad things.
Yeah. No kidding.
But once these 30 charges are out, that's it. Do they
Oh, I
recur?
forgot to include the arcane jump on it. What was that? Sorry.
Once these 30 charges are out, that's it.
Yeah, it needs to take time to recharge after that point. You could still cast spells through it if you've got damaging spells, and you could still use its modifier. But at that point, it can't use the force empowered arcane cannon anymore.
Alright. And then it'd be using my DC as well then too.
No, it uses its modifier to determine DC. So you'd still be basing it off a 24 in intelligence, but your proficiency.
Yeah.
And that puts a DC at
Or wait, your spellcasting is based off charisma, so it would still be
Yeah.
your DC. I'm sorry.
and no, that's what I was thinking because
Yeah, we're all charisma casters.
Yeah, I forgot about that fact. This was made by a wizard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're all charisma casters. Even me. That's why the only spell I use is the one that doesn't have a DC.
What is the requirement for multiclassing into wizard?
Intelligence 13.
13 in intelligence.
Just intelligence?
Nope.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all here, good to start up again?
Are we?
I'm good to go.
Just intelligence.
Alrighty then. If we're all good to go, then we can jump right back into things.
before Kat gets shunted back into the regalia, she just gives Lee one nice big hug.
I believe in you.
Believe in you too.
Don't die.
I won't.
That's an order.
That's an order.
He's ordered
Now
to
we
be
might
around.
end up having to do an emergency teleport back here.
What was that?
Just might need to make an emergency teleport back here depending on what happens. So I memorized your teleportation circle. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, I mind entirely, but I'll let you do it this time.
Okay.
Next time, ask. Like, seriously, it's so hard to get a please and a thank you out of anyone in this day and age. Gosh darn.
Thank you for letting us use your regalia.
You already said thank you, but thank you again for saying thank you.
Belzy hugs the bones.
Yep, this is more personal than I expected. But okay then. He just gives you a very bony pat on the head.
Well,
And
thank you
physical
for
affection.
all,
Don't appreciate it, but okay.
and thank you for all the help that you've given us so far.
And I potentially led you into dying, so it's going to be interesting.
Hope not.
If you all die, can I have your bones?
No.
Darn
Sure.
it.
I think somebody will beat you to our bones before you can get them.
I don't think I'll have bones when I die.
That's a weird proposition. I'll check that.
If
I mean, technically you'll also be dead, so you can't really say no. Go have fun!
I suppose that's fair.
So he starts casting the teleportation spell.
Part of me really was said, I'm sorry, I can't die. My boyfriend said not to.
Alright, so you all are... He is preparing the teleportation spell. Brimstone and Keta, you have already been loaded into the regalia.
Just settled in her seat.
Alright, now keep all your limbs inside the regalia at all times.
I don't think I could pop mine out.
I mean, the cockpit opens. Just don't open it while I'm teleporting you, because otherwise you might be split in half. Anyways,
Yeah.
you do not want to be misplaced. It's bad.
No.
You might be shunted into elsewhere and die. Anyways, safe travels. And he's going to cast the teleport spell to see. Let's see how this goes.
as they're being teleported off, Da Vinci will just grab Morgan's hand and give it a squeeze.
And she will squeeze back.
Nothing.
Teleport!
Teleporting. Rolling a D100 to see if it blows up.
And this is where our story ends.
Nope, he's good. Not even off target this time. Alright, so you all feel a very sort of weird before you just vanish. Which, it's a particularly weird sensation when you're in the cockpit of the regalia because you don't really feel it the same way. Like, you all have teleported before, and it feels pretty normal. Like, at this point, you've done it enough for it to feel pretty normal. This time it feels like you're like in a cart that just decided to lurch forward, but like not in a comfortable way. Like it lurched your soul forward way.
Ugh.
So, like, they just went to light speed.
Pretty much. It's like if someone just grabbed your intestines and yanked them backwards.
Ooh.
So in other words, G-forces!
Yeah, no kidding.
But yes. Sorry, something just popped up in my room and I had to fix it. But he did succeed. That you guys are not off target.
That's good.
So when you reappear, you actually blink into existence, blink a couple of times, and then realize that you are right next to a river leading into the distance outside the city. And there is like a small tributary and basically what looks like a sewer entrance beside you, but does not smell horrid. It just smells like seawater and fresh water being mixed together. It's sort of emptying out into the river.
Okay, where on the map are we? So I can.
By that house in the in the south of the map.
This is nowhere near the orphanage Felzy grew up in.
No.
That's off the map somewhere.
That's
Think-
like off the map to like the northwest somewhere. Sorry, I just punched my microphone.
Oh, we're over there. Okay.
Yeah, that small house that you can see, like that small building, is the small fishing hamlet and essentially what would be considered almost like a water treatment plant. Like, not so officially called that, but
basically that. Like, it's a place where fish are put into the water to deal with a lot of the human leavings, so that they
Nice.
don't have to be dumped into the actual, like, ocean.
How do
Oh.
we get to where we need to go?
You're currently beside a large grate that is just sort of leading into a wall.
Lionel, how you holding up?
He's, like, on the ground still.
Pick him up.
I'm fine. You actually are this whole time while Tim was getting the teleportation ready, you actually were watching as that hole was knitting itself closed in Lionel's chest.
That ability is horrifying, but incredibly useful, it seems.
Subjective.
Well, 2 days.
So this is the waterway?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'd say we'd have trouble busting it open, but looks at the regalia.
Hi.
Yeah.
If you all would.
Alright.
It's the only thing standing between us and the pathway to get where we're going.
Alright. Just gonna rip this thing out the hinges.
Alright, go ahead and make a strength check for the regalia.
Okay. Check.
You should just be able to roll it off the sheet.
Yep.
Nice.
23.
All right. Alrighty then. The regalia's hand just sort of reaches out and grips onto the metal of the fencing and just sort of slowly crushes the finger inwards and just crushes the iron wrought fence as if it were like an aluminum can.
Hmm.
And you just rip it out of place.
Nice.
Well,
+6 strength.
that's
Yeah.
easy.
It's got 22 strength.
I just moused over the 23. It's like, ooh.
It has pretty good stats because Tim is a very good crafter.
Fair.
But unfortunately, it's not a melee regalia, so it does have a melee attack, but it is literally just it punching things.
Better than nothing.
It just deals a d12 damage, plus its strength score, which is still good.
Mm-hmm.
But an actual melee designed regalia would deal a lot more.
I have a particular question as like we're moving, as the regalia is moving. Is Keta just kind of swinging around, or she's kind of locked in place, and then she chooses to move?
No, you're literally on like a balloon that's being dragged behind the regalia, so you occasionally are just like hovering up and down. Like you choose to spin the thing around, but your actual like X and Y positioning just is very gently bobbing up and down.
Okay, I'm just curious.
But otherwise you are always constantly about 3 feet, or not 3 feet, but about 6 feet behind the regalia and about another 2 or so feet higher than its head.
You gotta social distance, man.
Yep. But yeah, you guys are just moving forward. Lionel will be sort of leading the way. And this waterway is literally just big enough for the regalia to fit in. Like, you're having to still sort of crouch down and walk with it, Brimstone.
Uh-huh.
And Keta, at this point, you are kind of being scraped against the ceiling very subtly.
If I can I like kind of swing myself down towards like another position?
No.
No. Damn
The
it.
thing thing doesn't have the ability to move. It can spin around in its position, but its movement is locked to the regalia.
Alright. I'm just gonna duck my head instinctually, like this is gonna be fun.
Well, it's like occasionally you'll hit a low part of the ceiling, and the whole bubble will just go boing downwards, and then float back up.
This is gonna be fun.
Yep. All right, so Lionel is going to head the check on moving forward. He still has to make a check because it's still very confusing down here, as you will begin to make your way through the waterways. Yes. And luckily, Dravinche, like I mentioned before, does not smell like sewage.
Oh, thank
Smells a little musty, but not like sewage.
It just smells like old water.
Smells like fish water, I should say.
So we'll kind of call it. Do we need a light? I can't provide that. It might help.
Nah, I can see well enough. What about you all?
I mean, I can see perfectly fine. It's just their bench day.
If we
This
want,
ends up very much inconvenient multiple times.
if you'd rather we not and keep things stealthy, you can just hold on to my arm or my tail, and I'll be able to guide the both of us.
It's up to you all.
I'll do that. Don't want to risk causing too much attention.
I will say, even without Dravinche having dark vision, it doesn't get dark enough down here that you stop being able to see, period. But it gets to the point where it's so shadowy that you stop being able to make out fine features of things around you.
Now that we're out of the town, can I rouse the Chewinga to not be so drowsy?
It takes a couple of minutes of coaxing, but eventually it just sort of and flops out of your staff.
You really not like the city that much?
It makes a rattling noise with its head as it shakes it no.
How about now? Are you any better?
It sort of starts to shake its head no, but then slowly transitions it into a shaking its head yes, and then a no again.
Fair enough. We're still going underground.
You get the sense that it feels a little bit better, but not much. You're not technically out of the affected zone yet. But yeah, you all are making your way underground. And Lionel rolls like garbage.
Oh no.
I mean, he's got advantage in a lower DC because he knows where he's going. Luckily, he doesn't have a terrible wisdom stat. So, it takes a little while, but eventually you do make your way into a deeper part of the tributary, where you start to smell a little bit of funk. Not like sewage funk, but just like the smell of fish gets really, really strong.
Reminds me of being next to a fishery.
And then you like look into the water and notice the fact that the water is almost like writhing. Because the regalia is having to walk through the waterway to fit through here. And as it's like moving through, you notice that the water starts writhing around it.
Is this a slime?
You look down, it's not a slime. It's a lot of fish getting out of your way.
This might be a breeding pool.
It's like hundreds of fish.
Sorry, fishies.
The fish are used as a way to help filter the water that comes out of the city. They breathe like crazy.
That's oddly clever to just use fish to do that.
Yeah. I remember at one point slimes were used, and that's part of why the sewer system still has slimes roaming about it. But some of them got too large to be under control anymore. So now we cull as many of them as we can.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Imagine a 10-foot wide passageway that just becomes a wall of acid, more or less.
Ugh.
Ugh.
It's not fun to deal with.
I'd imagine not.
I think I can produce that.
Ugh.
Oh, I don't know. Quick question.
What's that?
You were sent or assigned to guard the labyrinth, but you said that there's two entrances. Do you guard it from the inside, or do you stand outside of one of them?
You stand on the inside, but through the inside you can see what is outside. It's part of why doing this is dangerous no matter what. If you can see that unauthorized people are heading towards the portal, if you can react fast enough and you know how to do it, you can shut them. Luckily, thanks to Tim, I can open it back up from this side.
Kind of like a window with like shutters.
More like a door with a lock. A door with a lock and a peephole. It could be locked from the inside and only unlocked from the outside if you have the key for it. Which luckily I know the key.
Oh, that's good.
Of course, there is the option that the person on the inside can collapse the portals, which can make it to where they are rendered completely unusable from both directions.
And what do we do if that's happened?
Start digging.
Fair enough.
I would have said
Yeah,
pray to
that or-
God and pray.
Either that or hope that they only collapsed one, teleport back to Tim's, and then go through the sewer.
And that would be the only option at that point. Let's just hope that they haven't collapsed this portal. Alright then. So it's another 10 minutes or so before you all reach a point where the water part of the tributary sort of ends, and you're just walking in a large, dry passageway before he turns down another corridor and just walks through a wall.
Whoa!
It's safe, come on.
Or did he just disappear?
It's safe, come on.
Illusion.
Let's go.
I mean, I can't move that person moving me.
Alright.
Yeah, so it is an illusory wall that you all can pass through harmlessly. But on the other side of it, there is essentially a massive mirrored surface just carved into the wall. Appears to be made out of a giant disc of polished silver. And you currently see this weird swirling pattern on its surface.
Whoa.
Looks like the portal isn't collapsed. That's good. No,
Is
we
it-
don't have... It has been closed, though.
Oh.
That's fine, though. He walks up to it and starts tracing lines against the mirrored surface, sort of dragging lines through this weird smoky film that's hanging over it. And voila. He steps back as the swirling, just random patterns on it begin to coalesce into a single vortex that actually starts to pull backwards and into the mirror. Almost making an actual tunnel going through the solid surface. Alright,
Huh.
let's go before they have a chance to react.
Yeah.
Vinci is immediately going to cast a long strider on himself and then hop in.
Alright.
Yep.
Immediately on this other side, you are inside of a fairly large, I'd say about 40 foot by 40 foot chamber. And all you see in this room, other than a single door on one side, sort of like it's actually a double door that's almost 20 foot high, but just a single door. You see that same woman you were talking to before, very weakly clutching a staff and looking scared towards you. What do you want?
To save your daughter?
My mother is going to save her now. I'm not letting you get past me.
Your mother's a fucking nut job, first of all.
Move and leave now, or we won't have to do anything.
Your mother already got her. What's she gonna save her from?
There is something terrible happening to her, and she needs to be saved, and my mother is working on that now. Will not let you past.
Keta, try to intimidate this woman.
You certainly can try.
You're kind of.
You do not have the bonus currently because it's to the person who's currently driving the
He
thing.
still has a decent enough intimidation.
Right?
And she has a cannon. Keta's going to look at this one and just kind of very hardly and very seriously. Giving you 5 seconds. Move your ass. Before we charge to that door with you in front of us.
All right then. Go ahead and roll your intimidations.
Nice.
Why am I picturing that the cannon's actually charging up?
Keta just has it pointed. A very intent look on her face.
All right then.
This is when we find out there's no actual windows and no one can see that is just her voice.
No, the thing has got a glass dome. Like the cockpit she's in just has a glass dome so she can see out of it. The woman sort of like sees the fact that you are aiming the cannon at her. She grips the staff tightly and raises it into the air. We're gonna need to roll some initiative.
Faisley, we have to kill your sister.
So does the Regalia roll its own initiative then Brimstone then me?
No, it functions on your initiative. It's essentially
Yes.
a mount.
Yeah.
Nah.
Do we have tokens down to click on it or just roll initiative? If tokens to click on or just roll initiative?
Put tokens down for the sake of putting your name in the turn order.
Yeah.
Second.
Turn order's still full.
Yeah, when you roll new initiative, it should replace your old one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I technically don't even have to remove the monster. She is
Yeah,
technically
that's
the monster in this scenario.
Yeah, it's just Cadence instead of a Hydra.
Yup.
I can't believe Keta got a natural 20.
Fortunately, it wasn't enough to shake her because, brainwashing. It's a bitch.
Brainwashing and also a mother perceptionally protecting her child.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Brainwashing.
wanted to try
It's a bitch.
something, but
Well, someone else took initiative. I'm sorry. You could
Yeah,
I was-
try.
no, it's too late now. I don't want to ruin anybody else's fun.
Also, yeah, kind of Keta's ram raided us into a fight.
Oh,
Alright. I gotta roll an initiative for her. Alright. Oh, I don't even have to change the number.
well, that's convenient.
And Lionel?
Let me roll for Lionel. Yeah. Oh, Lionel, I should have ignored you. That was a poor roll, Lionel.
Oof.
Oof, indeed.
Alright. Technically, she would go before Failsy because of a 17 in dexterity.
That sucks.
So descending. Alrighty then. Dravinche, what are you doing as soon as combat begin, or perceptionally, you could see that this is about to break out into a fight. It's not technically a fight yet, but this woman seems to feel threatened enough that she is willing to take action.
Da Vinci is going to try to tackle her.
All right.
And try to basically just try to restrain her from casting whatever potential spells she was going to do.
Alrighty then.
Full body tackle.
Alright, so what's your movement speed right now?
40.
Alright, so you can get to her. And I guess you're just going to try to make a grapple check?
Yeah.
Or the shove action?
What would it be to... Well, to restrain her, I guess it would be a grapple check.
Yeah. I mean, there is technically no restraining until you can get them in your hands, so no. Yeah, it'd have to be a grapple check first. Also, I think in order to restrain a target, you have to have specific abilities in D&D.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, so you're going up to her and you're going to grapple her. Go ahead and make a strength check. She's going to attempt to make a dexterity check to get out of it.
2.
Da Vinci, noodle arms.
The strength isn't...
If she didn't have a dexterity modifier, you would have matched.
Damn it!
Because she rolled a 2. But she has a modifier. So she
acrobatic
manages to get out of your way.
And Da Vinci is just going to shout to... We don't want you nor Sonata to get her, but she does not have the right thing in mind for her.
Alright. Do you have anything you're doing as a bonus action?
I don't have my momentum, so I don't really have anything I can do as a bonus action, unless you would allow an offhand attack after a grapple.
A grapple is technically an attack action. It is a specialty attack action.
Okay, then
Offhand attacks require you to make a weapon attack, though, is the thing. I forget the wording of offhanded attacks.
Let me just double check. I was just open to that page. An attack with a melee weapon. Yep. So
you can't, unfortunately.
Okay, so I don't really have anything I can do as a bonus action.
Alrighty then. So then it would be her turn. You see as she sort of brings this staff up into the air after very narrowly dodging to the side from Da Vinci almost tackling her. And it's almost pathetic, the fact that she barely seems to have the strength in her to hold this staff still. But she sort of raises it up. You hear a as the staff starts to crackle with energy. She is going to cast Lightning Bolt through it. So she's aiming it at the mecha, or she's aiming it at the regalia. Because that is what she is currently threatened by.
Okay.
So it is only going to hit the regalia.
Okay.
So I need you all I need the regalia to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. And that's with ours, so it's a plus. It adds a +3 to it.
Yep.
Okay. It's a 7.
That is a failure.
Yeah.
So you all watch as this massive bolt of lightning just streaks out of the staff towards the regalia.
Mm-hmm.
As I roll damage,
Does that affect us within the regalia or just the regalia itself?
it affects the regalia.
Okay.
You actually watch as you see a bunch of warning signs start to flare to life inside the regalia's cockpit, and this
Mhm.
sort of arcane bubble form around you as it's hit with this damage.
Okay.
The regalia be healed.
Not right now. You need specific abilities and tools to repair a regalia.
I meant my
That makes
magic.
sense.
That should.
No, it cannot be. It cannot be cure wounded.
It's
I'd
construct.
ask. I thought I'd ask.
Fair enough. Note down that the regalia takes. Math is my strong suit. 25 points of lightning damage,
Mm-hmm.
and that is this woman's turn. And her arms are currently trembling under the force that just got applied on her body from these staff. All right, Felsi, it's your turn.
Bella's not going to raise anything. Instead, she's going to walk towards her sister. Cadence, I am taking Sonata.
She looks towards you and looks really confused and sort of lowers the staff slightly. Are you attempting to do anything with this words?
For the sake of expedience, I think I'm going to try a spell. When
All
I
right, what
have
spell are you trying?
Charm Person.
All right. It's a charisma saving throw or wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw.
All right then.
It's my racial spell.
All right. What's your DC? Because I think that focuses on
Charisma.
16.
16 spell save again. So wisdom
Okay.
save 16.
I was just making sure you said 16 because I thought you said 60 at first, and I was just like, I don't think that's right.
Oh yes, that charisma. My boobs are that big.
You're literally just no. 16 charisma. All right, then I need you to then make a spell casting ability check.
Oh. So charisma check. Interesting.
Ooh.
Okay, so how to make a spellcasting ability check?
So just a charisma check, basically.
Yeah, just click charisma.
Cool. So charisma check?
Yep.
Yeah.
24.
Damn.
All right then.
Damn.
Failed his
Fair
force of will.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, then she lowers the staff. Initiative ends. Falsetto?
Yes.
I thought you were dead.
Mother would wish I was dead.
No, she wouldn't. She's been looking for you for so long.
Oh, I bet she's been looking for me, but not for anything loving.
I don't know what you mean. What are you doing here? What are you doing with these people?
We're here to save Sonata.
Sonata is already being saved. Mother is working on that now.
No, not really. She's not.
Yes, she is falsetto. The crystals are embedded in my little Sonata's back. They are slowly killing her, and Mother is working on removing them.
Those crystals were embedded in me before I left.
I know. I don't know how you got rid of them. That's why we thought you were dead.
That is why I'm taking Sonata, because I know how to get rid of them.
Mother knows as well. That's why she is working on it. Who are these people?
Friends of mine.
She's like looking out around at the rest of you at this point.
Live.
I've seen you before. Some of you.
Yeah, the marketplace.
Yes.
Don't mind the
Huh?
angry tiefling in the bubble there. She's got a high, inflated sense of self-importance right now.
I see.
Hmm.
And you. And she looks over at you, Morrigan.
Mm-hmm.
Mother said you found her. And you returned her.
She stole her.
She did not steal her.
I have very good reason to believe your mother does not have good intentions for either you or your daughter.
My mother is the only reason I am alive right now. She has the best of intentions.
Then
I'm pretty sure Arya put those crystals there.
She sort of like sneers at you, Failsy, for referring to her by her name.
One thing I can confirm to you is your daughter did say she fell over on something, and that's how the crystals got in her.
I know. And they're killing her, and that's why we need to get them out. Do you not understand what I am saying?
I understand that much, yes. And I agree with you. Those crystals need to come out of her.
And that is what my mother is doing.
why would you bring her here then?
Because there is a device of some sort. I was told about it. It is used to control wild magic. It's used to control strong magic that hurts people. It can stop the flow of magic before it has a chance to hurt Sonata.
And if it gets touched, then the entire city will be driven insane.
She doesn't look like she believes you.
Okay. How about when Failsy met your mother? She had Failsy thrown into prison.
We thought Falsetto was dead. It could be anyone impersonating her. But I would recognize Falsetto's magic anywhere.
Wouldn't she recognize her magic and then let her out of the chains?
She is out of chains now, so she did.
Yeah.
She broke out.
No.
Oh, I was extremely violent and exploded my way out.
Yeah, that sounds like it. That sounds about right.
Well, she did not stop you, so she let you out. That's how you've always been, Falsetto. You would never listen to Mom, but she always kept an eye on you. And she was very sad when we thought you died.
Sent me to the desert to awaken new well springs of wild magic.
She sent you with the other followers to work on their task, I know.
in chains.
You were always quite good at running away. It's like when people put children on leashes.
No.
Child on a leash?
We had to do that with you.
Keta, you've been put on a leash before.
Yeah.
We've literally joked about the fact that Bibder had a whole harness set up for you.
You hold her. An actual fucking leash. Keta, also in this moment, Keta's thinking like a dog leash.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair.
Right. So, send me off to the desert with the other followers of Magisteria to change
Yes.
bound
Yes,
collared.
Magisteria, grandmother.
That's not. No.
Well, adoptive grandmother.
Know what's
I was-
inside there?
bound, gagged
What's inside where?
in crystal.
Door behind you.
To my understanding, a maze. That's all I was told. And behind it is is the device that Mother is looking for right now.
Morgan?
I don't know how to convince her.
Maybe,
If we take you to Sonata,
maybe not you convince her.
If she's willing to speak through me, then that's worth a shot.
What do you mean?
She looks very confusedly towards Morgan and Dravenche, who were just sort of talking.
Da Vinci is just going to give a nod to Morgan for her to explain.
Your daughter's actual great-grandmother.
You see her face twist in anger almost.
You speak of chains, but then you asked me to speak to someone who chained my mother?
Well, given the way she's acting, I think that your grandmother had good reason to do so.
My mother was nothing like Falsetto when she was young. Falsetto liked to wander. We had to keep her under wraps. That woman chained my mother before she was even born.
How many sources of information you got on this? Because it sounds like you were spoon-fed a whole lot of bullshit until you started choking on
She sort of sneers at you, Brimstone.
it. Or in the direction of the regalia, because the cockpit is still down.
Yeah, she just sneers at you.
Yeah, see, you're not making my case any less accurate here.
I can understand why you're resistant to this because you've grown up knowing only this.
It's almost like control of information is a great way to control somebody who otherwise would probably have an opinion.
I have
said,
plenty of opinions, Mr. Stone Man.
It said, victors tell the history. And this guy, in this instance, Arya is the victor, at least to daughter.
And little weird glass bubble person.
I thought I was better at insults.
No, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, it's gonna stay that way.
Can't address you if I don't know who you are.
Nah, you seem to be doing just a perfect fine job of it.
Don't you have any seeds of a doubt?
Why would I doubt someone that has shown me nothing but love? That has helped me live in this world?
Yes, but if she's as powerful as you say, why does she not bring the device up? Kill your daughter right then and there if she means that much to you.
Because whoever built... My mother is not that powerful. She's a spellcaster, yes. She is something I could never be. Falsetto was supposed to take her place in the family as a spellcaster.
I mean, I've seen your mom toss my friend here through a wall with a backhand. Pretty strong.
Strength is one thing, it doesn't help you with a place like this.
Do you know what's down?
Like I said, it is a machine or something that can
You know
help
what-
my daughter.
And also your grandfather.
That's even better then. Don't know why you all laugh at the notion of someone having their parents and grandparents returned to them.
Well, not really grandfather. It's more grandfather's bones are down here.
But even still,
And those bones have a tremendously maddening effect because of how powerful he was.
I'm sure many people have been driven mad by their in-laws before.
No, I mean magical madness.
She looks at you like she just does not understand. Or either she just does not comprehend, refuses to comprehend, or just does not understand, period.
How much
I
did
think-
that lightning take out of you?
It took nothing out of me. It took some out of this.
And she holds up the staff that she has clutched in her hands. Because, Felzy, you know that Cadence can't cast magic. She is physically unable to. Like, she is inert.
Do you know how bad wild magic is?
Muragan, can you roll a charisma check for me? Or either a charisma or a wisdom check.
Mhm.
Yeah, just do that for me, please.
19.
What did you just say, Felzy?
You know how bad wild magic can be to someone's mental health, right?
It didn't seem to affect you too poorly.
She just looks at your current state.
Oh, I'm clinically batshit.
And yet here you are standing and talking to me as if there is nothing wrong with you.
Madness takes money.
Oh, I
Very
had
good liar.
I had a lot of help at Desmoda's temple to put me back together. They're the ones that removed my crystals.
I'm glad they were able to do that for you then.
My point is that grandfather was very powerful in wild magic, and his bones exude it.
While you were speaking to her, Muragan,
Yeah.
you are pulled backwards into yourself, back into that realm. And you just feel the calmness in the air around you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
We're getting nowhere with her. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do here. I need your help.
There's sort of a breeze that blows past you. You just see that figure appear on the water surface.
Your words don't reach her. I don't know if they can. Her life has been nothing but one. To bring another into it, she will deny. I don't believe anything short of being able to show her might change her mind.
Can that even be done?
Maybe.
If I have to relinquish control to you again for that to be done, then so be it.
No. But this is going to be very risky, Morrigan.
I'm well aware.
Hand me to her.
And all at once, Morrigan, you are forced back into the real world, and the sword summons itself into your hand.
Well, this works.
By the way, for context, Travince, you have no idea what just happened. To you, this whole conversation's been going on, and Morrigan just suddenly summoned the Moonlit Aria.
Oh, thought we were
Yeah,
past
he-
that. Whoa.
Yeah, he's assuming that her summoning the Moonlit Aria is like, okay, a decision has been made.
Oh, Andy died.
Oh, well, let's wait a second for her to come back.
There she is.
Okay.
Luckily, her attention is currently on Thalesy, so she does not notice the blade be summoned, and by extension, does not take it as a threat.
Morgan will approach her calmly, the blade fully held in as non-threatening of a way as she can.
So handle forward.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also summon the sheath for the blade still.
Yeah, it will have the sheath on it, so she's holding it by the sheath with the handle pointing towards Cadence.
It's sort of a second before she realizes you're approaching her, and she just reactively backs up.
Just, what are you doing?
As a show of good faith. Of what we mean is truly in the best interests of you and your daughter. Because this city's dangerous and we want to get the both of you out.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh! Fuck!
You rolled a 7,
Mm-hmm.
and she got a 5.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Sometimes the dice agree.
Sometimes.
Oof.
She seems very confused, but she lets go of the staff with one hand and takes the Moonlit Aria into her other hand. And the sensation I can only be described to you as intense loss suddenly comes over you.
Ooh.
As in this moment, your connection with the Moonlit Aria breaks.
Just uncontrolled and unbidden from Morgan, like a sob breaks out of her at that.
It's not even a sensation you can fully register at first because of how quickly it just onsets. And almost the exact same sensation you can see on this woman's face simultaneously happens. And she just stumbles backwards, pretty much falling off her feet and just scrambling backwards on the ground until her back hits the door behind her.
What is happening?
You all can just see as her eyes are currently aglow with light.
A dose of the truth, hopefully.
Da Vinci will walk up close and just kneel down near her.
All right, then. You do so. She sort of just reflexively swings the staff towards you. I have to roll to see if she hit. Of all the times for her to roll a natural 20.
Oof.
Did you really?
Yes.
Really cracks Revenge upside the fucking skull.
Oh no, a bonk on the head.
She has a negative strength modifier. And this is a strength-based weapon, but this is still a magical quarterstaff.
Mm-hmm.
So that counteracts her negative strength modifier. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as she whacks you in the face with the stick.
Give her
It
some
doesn't
space,
look like she was
Revenge.
really being aggressive. She literally just
wildly
she is
swinging.
freaking out, and she saw something coming towards her, so she just swung at it.
Give her some space.
I will note he wasn't trying to be like upfront on her. Just
It was approaching her period.
You got
Yeah.
within weapon range, basically.
yeah. So he's going to be sitting or kneeling down outside of whapping range.
All right, 5 feet away from her.
Yes, that
Proper-
would be my initial intention.
Oh, you said you knelt down beside her.
Oh, did I say beside her? No, I said near. I thought I said near, like a
It's kind of hard to interpret kneeling down near something and having it not be next to it,
Yeah.
unless you say otherwise.
I'm going to roll with it.
I mean, it's only 6 points of damage. Could have been worse. Could have been much worse.
Hmm.
Alright, so, you just essentially watch as this woman has what can only be described as a very intense panic attack for about 10 minutes before she just seems to go lax and the blade drops out of her hand again.
Might want to check her pulse.
Huh.
And Morrigan, you feel that connection reestablish.
Morgan, did you
Now
just come
that she's slack, Da Vinci will just go and take a quick look over her.
Like, she's not, like, dead slack. She's literally just sobbing on the ground.
Hey.
What?
You're not alone.
What was that monster?
A monster? Really?
Quick
I
description. The big, black, and scary.
Yes.
Your grandfather.
No. That is never how Mother has described him.
Your mother's a liar, unfortunately.
My mother is not a liar.
Well, then she never knew her father proper.
I mean, timeline-wise, I think he was already dead on her birth.
For the sake of out of character, yes. He was dead long before she would have been born.
She probably idealized what she thought of a good father, and that's what she told you. What you were shown is the truth.
Even still, I know my mother.
Do
she
you?
would not hurt my daughter.
But your mother will hurt the entire city.
I do not care about this city. I care about my daughter.
Then help us get your daughter out of this city. She
Letting
wants.
her.
Sonata wants to leave, and she wants you to come with her. She's refused to leave without you. Help us get to her. We can get her to Zemoda's temple. They can get the crystals out of her the same way that they got them out of your sister.
You'll be able to meet my wife.
I don't believe. Cadence.
Lionel steps forward finally. For some reason, he's been hanging back this whole time.
Fair.
And she looks surprised to see him.
I know what they're saying. Seems like a lot. But you're going to have to trust them. You trusted me to protect her. And I trust them.
I'd like everyone to make an insight check on how Cadence is reacting to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do. 17.
That's not one of my good skills.
4.
I'm not good at insights.
18.
Except today, I am. 19.
I mean, it kind of makes sense for Failsy considering it's sister.
Yeah, Well, you know, you're okay. It's been a long time since you've really seen Cadence, but
Still,
well, seen Cadence proper, but you have an idea. So, Dravince, Keta, and Failsy, there is a look that you all immediately recognize on this woman's face when she notices Lionel. It is a look that can only be shared between a mother and father.
Oh.
Keta, it's the same momentary, like, unhesitated glance of love and appreciation that you've seen your mother show your father many times.
Yeah, Kato will just kind of, if she can, kind of whisper to Brimstone, just step back.
Lionel walks up to Cadence. I don't truthfully know if they are correct in their assumptions about what your mother is doing. They have good reason to believe what they believe, but I do not know for certain. What I do know is that whatever is going to happen is going to harm Sonata. You can see this look on Cadence's face of struggling to not believe him, but not being able to refuse what he's saying. With everything else that's been said and what she's been shown, Failsy, you can start to see this control your mother has over Cadence is starting to slip.
Those crystals amplify the absorption of wild magic. Once Sonata touches that device, it'll break, and Sonata will take the full brunt of Grandfather's wild magic.
she ain't gonna live through that.
If you come with us, we can get her out quick enough. All three of you, so you can be a family.
I'm not sure if that's exactly accurate, but that's Failsy pulling something out of her ass to make it seem more dire.
I mean, you have no idea, but it's as far as you can make an assumption. It's what you got.
It's a reasonable guess that Failsy can make.
But what? And before she can start to question it again, Lionel just brings her up into his arms. Trust me.
If you're wrong, you can throttle us with your staff.
Don't put that on the line for me.
Okay, she
I'll
can
be
throttle
first in
me
line.
with her staff.
I'll be
Okay.
first in line for it, because I've been kind of a shit to you, Cadence.
I don't
Keep
even know who's talking when they're saying that.
She just looks over at the giant mecha.
It's a
Trust
it's
me. Once they're out, you'll know who's who.
Okay.
Da Vinci
I
will.
believe you, Lionel.
You watch as she actually brings her hands up and lifts off Lionel's helmet.
Oh, what does he look
Oh,
I have to find another image.
I guess we're here now. Huh.
While this is going on, Da Vinci is just going to see if he could open the door.
The door has no handles.
That might be something Cadence actually needs to do herself.
Get the sense there might be a reason why she has that staff.
Yeah.
Ketel just kind of stay over to Brimstone. She looks at him the same way Mom looks at Dad. Every single time.
What you see is a very dark-skinned individual who, in this moment, is just giving this incredibly kind, beaming smile towards her.
That's nice.
His head is shaven, or maybe he is just bald. It's hard to say. But it's when you see his face in this light that you actually can start to see what this man might have once been seen as by the people around him. And yes, this is a joke image, but this is what he looks like. For those who are very curious, if I remember rightly, this person's name is Terry Crews.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
He looks like Terry Crews.
Nice.
Not to destroy the tension of this scene, but
Oh, that's just
No,
nice.
that's fantastic.
I was
also
just
for
going,
those of you who are curious who what Lionel's armor looks like, that's what it looks like.
Mm.
I could not show this before because I did not have a picture of this with a helmet on.
Terry,
Um,
Master Paladin.
That does bring a question to my mind. Does Dravinci recognize the kind of nationality of origin?
I mean the issue with that is based on how this world was created. There are no longer nationalities of origin. They would have at one point existed, but they all got mixed together when they were brought into this world.
Fair. I'm referring
No.
to like, well, what we discussed about, say, Tezverel.
He does not look Tesvarelian. He actually looks like he's a native to Grainham.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay.
he looks like he would be. He actually looks like he would be a native to what you're aware of, Grainham and the western portion of the Draic Empire.
Okay.
Because those skin tone, the darker skin tones are more prevalent in that area because of the intense sunlight experienced all year round in those areas.
Indeed. Anyway, please continue the scene.
All right then. But yeah, he just smiles at her. It's like, all right then.
I think
And he
that
like
little
takes
girl
his helmet
played-
back and puts it back on. And like looks at all of you just like none of you saw that.
Hey,
He doesn't say anything, he just gives you that look.
Mulligan
just
just
say-
kind of gives a nod of, I understand you with that.
Dravinci, mouth zipped.
Fails his
And-
debate whether or not she needs to call him daddy or not.
Whether she needs to call him what? Daddy or what?
Daddy or not.
I think in this case, brother-in-law would be most fitting.
Yeah, but it's failsy,
Father.
so why would it? Why would you care about that?
If that's
Anyways. That's things to joke about after stream.
Yeah.
was that indicated as a Sonata's father or Caden's father? The whole looks of
That was to imply that Lionel is Sonata's father.
Ah.
Just to be clear with that.
Yeah.
And also, you all note at this point, Sonata is very dark-skinned. Like, much more than her mother.
Makes sense.
That checks out.
Like, even much more than Arya the Golden, who historically is dark-skinned, but would have more of the Tesvarelian dark skin. For real-world alternatives, more of a Middle Eastern skin tone. Not an African skin tone. Which is racist, but it's the only way I can accurately describe it.
So, from her cockpit, Ketchel kind of called down. So, Cadence, I assume you're the one that can open the door?
Oh, yes.
Sorry to
She
break
was
your
sort of
moment.
like-
There's-
She was sort of like caught looking at Lionel.
Sorry to break the moment. You can kiss later.
I'm still struggling right now, but I trust you. I trust you, Lionel.
You all do note there's a pause when she says Lionel, almost like she started to say something else.
Ketchel's gonna say it loud enough for Brimstone here. God, it is really like my parents.
All right,
Mm.
but she turns around, raises the staff up towards the door, and you all hear a very loud as the door swings open. I don't know if that sound picked up on microphone.
It did.
No, it did.
Yeah, a very loud knocking sound as the door sort of swings open inwards. And you all just see a black expanse in front of you.
Let's go.
And we'll pick up next week with going through here.
No. You have something to show us.
I think if we're going to have a map for it, we'll get it next week.
Yeah, we're going to pick up next week going through here.
Okay, just whenever I hear the ominous this, I assume that means we're going to be shown something.
Did I say this?
No, it's so cute.
Semantics. Let's worry about it later.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Well,
There is just a black. Oh, you might have heard me say black expanse in front of you. It might sound weird.
Well, I heard the next
Anyways.
section we're going to go through this.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the labyrinth.
And if there is a map, we'll get it next week.
I'm gonna have to make one because this is gonna be too complicated if I don't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm actually
And-
glad we got to this point because I didn't know if we would with combat. But luckily, there wasn't a combat.
Thank you, Failsy.
Yeah.
Elsie was one of the few people that could have made that initial break happen.
I was
Okay,
really
that was
hoping
either
to
Failsy or
approach.
Monaghan.
I was really hoping to approach this particular situation with diplomacy. So, Failsy, thank you so much.
Yeah, I figured I might be able to try this one spell that I've never used this whole game. Which is,
Elsie attempts diplomacy. It actually worked.
After an hour, she's gonna know she's charmed, though.
I mean, even then.
No, the reason I had Failsy roll that additional charisma check was because she was breaking the charm that was already on Cadence.
Oh,
I
wow.
figured.
Okay, then.
And she beat out her mother's DC.
Shit.
Nice.
Barely, but she beat it.
Okay.
Good.
That was
going,
probably the
Failsy.
one thing that saved us.
Yes.
Otherwise, we would have been forced to knock her out, take the staff, and not get all this lovely emotional.
You guys find out what Leonel looks like. God damn it.
I love
I
it,
really-
okay?
I'm really sorry about that. I've been holding that joke in my back pocket this whole time.
I'm just sitting here like, God damn it.
Hey,
It was such a cute moment. And I'm starting to laugh.
that smile fits, okay?
Yeah.
But since we are at the end of session, it's shilling time. Does anybody have a shill?
So close.
Only Keta's artist. The art that I use for Keta's token. Very lovely individual. I mean, a very lovely work for making Keta. And thank you again for letting me use it. Her token.
I just poured water on my keyboard.
Nice.
No.
Oh no, that's not good.
I'm sure it's fine.
That's fine.
I need to take my keyboard upside down.
As long as it's a membrane keyboard, not a mechanical one, it should be good.
It's a mechanical keyboard.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
I'm gonna get the water out now.
While DM is busy doing keyboard maintenance, does anybody else have any shills?
Yep.
It's fine. It only landed on right shift. I don't use right shift.
We'll talk more about it after.
Question
So-
I have to dash then.
So no shills then?
Nope.
No chills,
It's
just
still in the works, but soon, someday. That's all I'll say.
We're going to talk about that after session. But, anyway, so,
Right shift still works.
sweet. If you liked what you saw here tonight and you want to see what happens next when we go up against Scary Dragon Lady, who is the mother of one of our party members,
Oh god, we have a mech suit.
and also magic mecha battles, maybe, who knows.
By failing assistance, we brought a mech suit.
Yes. Then please show up again here next week at this same channel, which is Danny_Boop at twitch.tv. But, you know, if you're already here, you already know that, but, who knows.
We post the link all over the place, so
Yeah, it still
Okay.
doesn't hurt to say it every now and then.
yeah. Just go back to where you found the link the first time. We'll post it again next week.
Oh, hell yeah. But we'll be streaming again next Thursday at or around 7 p.m. EST. We did better this week. We did better. Had to talk to sister-in-law over the phone, otherwise we might have been on time.
It happens.
She needed a vent.
Anyway,
But meet us back here again next Thursday at 7 p.m. EST so we can find out what the hell happens next. I am still very much worried in and out of character. It's
That's
not going away.
It shouldn't.
goodbye, everybody.
Make your bets on if it's TPK or not. We'll see next week.
Yeah. Goodbye.
But yes, good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.